Boom! And look, hey, we back, man. It's 106, Chat with Gunner. It is a late night. I got my boy Niko on the show. Listen, I'm not going to say I haven't been hitting him up a few times to come on, and he ignored me, but I get it. I get it.
Hold on, time out.
I get it.
I hit you back, but then things got
Yeah,
hectic.
listen, things got crazy. The world got crazy. Listen, honestly, we know each other, right? So we know each other. We've passed each other. We kind of passed each other at UTC. We got we're running the same circles.
Oh, yeah.
But we never ran together in the same circles,
correct.
other than just knowing each other and the respect factor. So, Niko, thanks for coming on the show, man.
I appreciate you having me, man. I was excited today, actually.
Were
I
you?
had let me clarify. Like, I don't think I have bad days. I live in America. My life is great.
Sure.
I had a stressful day building my house.
Yeah.
But I was like, but I get to go do a podcast.
That's right.
I'm ready.
Hey, man, not any podcast.
Come on,
You
man.
get to do the podcast. They just don't know it yet.
It's coming.
They about to know.
It's coming.
They about to know.
I believe in it.
So let's just back up a little bit. We got a little bit of time here. We do this like Rogan style. You know how it goes. So let's back up. You're from Ukraine, right?
Ukraine.
Your family's from Ukraine?
Family's from Ukraine. Me and one of my sisters were born in the States, but three of us were born in Ukraine.
Now, born in Chattanooga?
I was born in Syracuse, New York. I'm a Yankee, technically.
Ooh.
Technically.
Okay.
Yeah.
But grew up.
Grew up 3 years old. I moved to Chattanooga, so.
And you're in the Harrison area.
Highway 58.
Highway
more
58.
so, yeah, closer to like the entrance of Highway 58.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So where'd you go to high school?
Chattanooga Central.
Oh.
Go Pounders.
And when? So you graduated what? 11?
2012.
2012.
Yeah.
Okay, so you came in literally when I was on my way out.
Yep.
UTC.
Yep.
Man.
So.
All right. Well, so man, you blew up. I remember seeing you the last time we talked, like in depth, prior to the fights, but in depth. We was on UTC's field, Finley Stadium. I don't know if you remember this, Finley Stadium, and you came up to me and you was talking about being an agent, working some money deals or something. And I was like, man, what is this guy talking? I was like, what is this guy talking? Whatever, do your thing, man.
Right.
I don't know what he's talking about. And then we kind of like separated for a while. I didn't see anything, and then I think Sinjin told me, he's like, hey, have you seen what Niko's been doing? I was like, nah, I'll check it out though.
Yeah.
100,000 followers, 200,000 followers. I was like, dude, what is he doing? He's like in India doing videos. Like, how did that happen? How did you just go from like college football to just trying to figure out your way? I mean, you're a hustler. You're a hustler.
That's in my blood, man.
And then all of a sudden, it was like, you know what? I'm just going to travel the world and start documenting.
That was it. That's literally how it happened. It was crazy. So let me kind of backtrack. Okay, so let's go Central High School. I went to UTK, did 2 years there, transferred to UTC, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna just hang up the cleats. I sent out my film, and I wasn't getting like PT at UTC. I'm real about that stuff. Like, I wasn't getting like crazy PT. I was, special teams. Like, it was happening. I sent out my film. I got offered by Charleston Southern University, D1AA, just like UTC. I went there and started. Like, it was crazy. We won our I can't remember what conference we played in, but they went like 3-peat. So I came in on the last peat or whatever you want to call it. And so then I come home and I'm like, right before all this was happening, like right before graduation, I was getting my master's degree, and I was like, what am I going to do in my life? I end up tearing my ACL like 2 games before the season ends, bro. I'm on the sideline with a trainer, and she's like, yo, you could be like a professor. And I was like, okay, I could. Sure. It threw me off guard. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was just getting free education. Yeah. And then I was like, no, I'm going to be a high school business teacher. I was like, because I don't have my educational like degree or anything like that. So you can become what's technically called like a vocational teacher without having a teaching certification. And you get like 3 years to get it. So I started teaching, and I loved it. I taught at Hickson High School a year and a half, and going into like that like December, I was like, man, I love teaching. I love being on this platform, like helping kids and growing relationships and everything. I was like, but I gotta go, man. I've been told what to do for the last like 25 years of my life. Football in middle school, football in high school, football in college. My dad had a construction company growing up. I had to go to work. Like Ukrainian parents are different, bro. I don't know what it's like growing up in an American household, but Ukrainian parents are different. They like, it's 6 a.m. He's up, you're up. Like, it's just that's just
immigrant mentality, right? That's what you hear.
He came from the Soviet Union. The mindset doesn't shift. He brought it over here, and because when they lived there, it was still the Soviet Union. So it didn't become Ukraine, I think, till like 93 or something like that. And they came to the U.S. in 1989. So my dad served in the Army. Like, he did all that stuff over there. Yeah, like, he did all that stuff over there. So, like, his mindset, you don't just come to a different country and all of a sudden you don't think like you thought.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I was always told what to do my whole life, and I was like, I'm leaving, man. I went to Hawaii, met a cousin that I had never met as a like grown adult. I spoke to him once, met him once as a little kid, crashed on his couch in Hawaii, ended up crashing for 2 months, and then that started. I went Hawaii, Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand, Sri Lanka, UAE, and I went to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And then I ended up in India, and that's where.
Wait a minute, back up.
Bro, it's crazy.
Okay, so back up. All right, so you decide, listen, I'm going to teach these kids business because kids need to be taught business.
They need to.
Still need to be taught
literally.
business. Like, especially in Hamilton County.
Absolutely.
Then you go, all right, bump that. I'm going to go to Hawaii. Do you know you got a cousin in Hawaii? Or you just got there and was like, hey, there's my cousin?
I post on Instagram. Like a little picture, like Hawaii on the way, coming soon. You know how you gotta like boost the episodes.
Yeah.
And
how many followers we got at this point?
Oh, I hit 1,000 subscribers before I was going to Hawaii. That took me 6 months.
What year is this?
2018, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, 18, I believe.
This
2018.
Is wild. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So 2018, I started a YouTube channel locally in Chattanooga called Back to Life, like Back the Number 2 Life, and I'm like. And let me tell you how I came up with that. Okay, I'm at Chickamauga Dam, the park over there where like all the boats and everything are. And I run into my boys, Goon Squad?
I know a bunch of them. Describe them.
Well, so Goon Squad on YouTube, they probably got like 2.5 million subscribers. They're local
don't know
here.
them.
Okay, they're local here. They rebuild cars, build houses. Like they're awesome. Like they're doing it crazy.
Cool.
Salvage cars, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, all that. This is actually their color. This green behind us. That's the color of their stuff, green and black. And so they were there, and I was like, bro, I'm about to go skydive. He was like, dude, you post on Instagram all the time. Like, start posting on YouTube. I was like, for what? He was like, bro, it's crazy what you can do. You can make money and stuff. I was like, what do you mean? I never watched YouTube, nothing. YouTube, 2018. YouTube for me was like, I got to put my high school highlights on here and get some interest. That's all it was for me.
Right.
And so they're like, yo, no, let's think about this real quick. And I was like, I just like bringing people back to life. And one of the dudes, he was like, yo, back to life. That's it. Like, just that's the motto. 2018, 6 months later, it's December. I hit 1,000 subscribers. I remember I actually went to the tanning bed because I was going to Hawaii. I didn't want to get burnt. It was December. First time in my life.
Ukrainian Southern New Yorker.
Come on. The first time in my life. And so I'm like, let me hit the tanning bed for like a week just to prep for it because it's 80 degrees all year long over there. I go out there, meet this dude because his brother slid in my DMs. We just know each other from Instagram. Knew him, met him once, twice, whatever. He's like, yo, my brother lives there. See if you can crash on his couch. I was like, okay. Like, this is my boy. Like, it's my brother now. Like, I went to Hawaii like 7 times since then. But that's what started it all. And we didn't even know each other. Like, we knew we were family, but that was it. We didn't talk. We didn't conversate. We didn't hit each other up on Instagram. We didn't even follow each other before I came out there. Like, we didn't even know we had Instagrams. Like, we didn't know each other.
Right.
Now I'm crashing on his couch for 2 months. And then I went to Bali with him.
Jeez.
That was pretty sick.
Jeez. So you go to Hawaii. You meet your cousin that you haven't hung out with.
Ever.
So did you buy the plane ticket, I'm assuming, and you go, I'm just going to figure it out when I get there. Is that the game plan?
Literally.
Okay, so that's the move.
I had no idea, bro. I bought one way. I'm a one-way guy. So, like, I buy a one-way. Now you can't really do that because of COVID, the restrictions.
Yeah.
You got to be, like, you got to have the negative test, PCR test, and all that stuff. And so going into all that, before all this was happening, dude, I would bounce from country to country with just a one-way ticket because I didn't know when I was going to leave.
Right.
And it was perfect. Is the post-COVID, like during COVID, post-COVID, that now traveling is really hard. That's why I started Niko's property show.
Sure.
I'm at home. I got to do something anyway. I know how to do internet.
Back as the business here thinking. So you're teaching business at Hickson. Yep. So you just save up a little bit of money. You had some money stored away. Like, explain that to me for a second.
So, okay, I came back home from Charleston Southern, and during that last semester, football was done, obviously, you play in the fall. So I started working at a furniture store up there while I was getting my master's degree.
Okay.
Stacked up some money, slung furniture for like 6 months.
Selling off the display floor, commission only.
Yeah, commission only.
All right.
I'm a sales guy. Like, I can sell you a daggone toothbrush.
Right.
Sell me this pen. No, I'm just playing.
Here's a piece of paper. You got a pen?
Write your name on it. So, no, I came back. I had stacked up a little bit of money. Came back, got straight to work. My brother has a construction company, so I was like, yo, I'm not a teacher till August. Let me do your paperwork. I don't care. I'll lay sod, whatever it was. I was like, let me just make a couple bucks. I'll save up in the summer. When I become a teacher, it's gonna be great. So I ended up saving, I don't know, 20 grand or something.
Right.
Which was enough for a down payment on a house to build one. So I got a construction loan, built my first house, did a couple things. So while I was actually traveling, I was even putting my house on Airbnb. So Airbnb was even paying my mortgage while I was on the road.
Okay.
So there was just, I'm just like money doesn't drive me. Doing things drives me. Like, I love the process. I don't love the finish line. When I see the finish line, I'm like, dang, I got to start something new because I'm bored. I hate being bored.
Right.
I'm a busybody. Like, I just love the grind, honestly. So I just, from that moment on, was like, yo, I'm about to just build this house. So I built it, got that done. And then I was like, being a teacher, making a decent salary. Like, I had a master's degree, and I was coaching football. So, like, I was making extra, they give you like an extra.
Is Todd Worley there with you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
so Todd was there. I coached with him for that year, and then I was like, man, this is like, I love it, but high school is different, man. These dudes, like, they listen, they don't listen, they're not in class, they don't care about school, but you're like days. Pouring your heart into it. You're like taking them on trips to Austin P because Will Healy, and I'm trying to, Carter's there. I'm like trying to connect, and dude can't even pass his classes. Yeah. And I'm like, man, this is mentally like so draining. Like, I care more than these kids do with the football. And I was like, okay, so I got to pause that because it was really affecting me. Like, I want it for them so bad. Mm-hmm. That's something I struggle with. I'm like, dang, I hope his podcast goes crazy. Like, but I feel it deep down in my heart. Like, it's not just like, oh,
no, you mean it.
Yeah, like, I feel it in my soul. So I had to kind of step back from that respectfully because all the kids were awesome. I loved all the guys who played ball and everything. And then moving forward, like I said, I was just like, one day, literally, bro, 2 weeks before the semester was about to end, I was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Like, teach. So I went and hollered at the principal. Me and him were really cool. He's an older guy. The guy's job that I took had like a heart attack or a stroke. Mm-hmm. So that was unexpected. I took his job. He was ready a year later to take that job back, or a year and a half later. He wanted that job. He just had health problems. Yeah. And hoping I get no like HIPAA violation just now.
No, you're good. We ain't no doctor. You're good.
Right. So I ended up, I was blessed enough to be able to get that position. Then a year and a half later, this guy was ready to take the position back. It transitioned into him taking it right away. So there was no like hard feelings. I gave him time. I finished that semester. Like, I was full go until it was my last day.
Sure.
And then that's when Hawaii happened and life went crazy, bro. I don't know. The internet's fun, man.
So now, have you done any research on the internet, how to get followers, how to do marketing, digital marketing, paying for ads, anything prior to going to Hawaii?
No. So I didn't start getting into that until I was in Hawaii, and I was like, man, I'm just like posting videos. There's a method to this madness, because you start seeing like, let's say like Mr. Beast, right? You see Mr. Beast pop up, he's getting like 30 million views on a video giving away a dealership or something.
Sure.
But then there's people breaking down his videos, making 2, 3, 4 million views, going, this is how Mr. Beast does it. So I start watching all these different videos, like, what is it? Okay, a clean thumbnail, put this, put that, bright colors. Like, you start learning all these different things. And then eventually, while I was sitting out in Hawaii, I had nothing but time. I had money, I had time. My cousin worked. So like, while he was at work, I was editing, trying to learn, growing the brand and everything back to life at that point. And eventually, like, it just became second nature to kind of understand. And we'll get there, but I'll tell you when the breakthrough really came. But we're gonna get there. I don't want to want to give it all
right
in the first.
Right. We can't blow it that quick, man. So yeah.
Like, okay, see you, bye.
And that's the show, guys. That's the secrets.
So it's been crazy.
So Hawaii was 6 months. Right.
In total, but that first stint was a 2-month stint.
A 2-month stint. You're sleeping on your boy's
couch, literally.
Becoming friends.
Best
what
friends.
Are you doing? Are you surfing?
I tried it. Didn't work out.
Okay.
Really tried, bro.
All right.
Like, it did
Seeing
not work
sharks?
out. Swam with dolphins. Like, not because I paid. We jumped in the ocean because we saw dolphins and went to swim with them. That's that type of lifestyle out there.
Okay.
Eating fresh mahi tuna, like
top stuff.
Literally, like, hang loose, baby. Like, we're out there. Like, it's that lifestyle out there is different.
Is there a bunch of Polynesians up there?
There is, but so you kind of have your own areas. So like these folks live here, these guys kind of live here. You know
Okay.
where everybody lives. You know where beaches like where people are welcoming and not
Right.
welcoming. I will say though, like if you're watching and you plan on going to Hawaii, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but the locals there don't prefer tourists.
So
They're-
stick to the right areas.
Stick to the touristy parts where you're supposed to be going. Like
Okay.
don't go. It's like if somebody came up to your front doorstep and was just like knocking, like, "Yo, bro, I love your podcast. Like, I appreciate you, but you're on my land. Like, come on,
Right.
dude. I'm
Right.
with my family." That's kind of how it gets out there. Like my cousin, he's been surfing and people like are ready to fight him in the water because he's not he's a white guy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not a local. So. Like I say that with all due respect, because I love Hawaii, and you will
Sure.
see me there again. But I
So-
know where to go.
So my fiance's Samoan,
Okay,
100% Samoan.
Okay.
Like from Samoa.
that's
So
crazy.
I'd probably get a pass.
You get a pass.
I get a little bit of pass. I'm
yeah.
in.
You're
you know,
you're
blood.
like in it to win it.
Yeah, no. But so she's from Samoa. So when we get married, we got to go to Samoa to have a traditional wedding, like shirt off.
That's crazy.
It does me awesome. I can't wait.
Hold on, bro. Where's Samoa?
Exactly.
Hold on,
Hey,
time out.
no, great question. Where do you think it is? Near Hawaii?
To the left of it or something?
No, below the equator,
Okay,
to the left, near New Zealand.
around the corner.
Near New Zealand.
That's wild.
6,000 miles away, straight shot from Chattanooga to there. But you got to go, obviously, L.A.,
Right.
Hawaii, then
Then New Zealand.
then American Samoa. But it's like 2 flights that leave just whenever.
Yikes.
They get there, so-
How did she? Hold on, time out. I know this is like a whole different conversation. How did her and her family end up over here?
So they didn't. She ended up over here. I probably can't tell this exact story.
Okay.
I can beat around the bush though.
Okay.
So her, I'll just say, oh man,
Don't
I'll just
don't say nothing.
no.
like-
I gotta say something. I'll tell you the story after we go off air.
Okay.
Remind me. But let's just say when she turned 18, she joined the Marine Corps.
Okay.
She came over to the United States.
Yeah.
And then she was in the Marines the entire time I was playing football.
Okay.
And then she was in Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
So she decided I want to, find a cool city to go to. She had a little boy.
Right.
He was 2 at the time, and she Googled best small cities,
Oh wow.
and Chattanooga was getting some hype because of the gig city and
Yep,
the fast internet.
yep.
She was like, "I'm gonna go Chattanooga." TVA, boom,
Come
went
on.
there, and then Bumble. I
Yep.
got her in the first month she was here.
Oh wow.
We swiped, ghosted me,
Oh wow.
ghosted me.
I hope she
all-
watches this.
Yeah, all the time. And then I was like, man. So then she deleted Bumble, deleted me. I was like, man, okay.
You didn't have her number?
No, couldn't get her.
Yeah.
So then a couple months later, she popped up again with a different name. So like this time it
Hold
was
on, this catfish, bro.
dude. I was
no
worried.
offense, like
No,
to your
I was
wife
worried.
or your fiance.
So her name's Tia,
Okay.
and then the second time it popped up, it was Maria.
Okay.
Same pictures, and I was like, wait a minute.
You're
okay.
like, I'm getting catfished.
And I'm a big rock fan anyway. So like she's Samoan and she's wearing a Project Rock shirt, so I'm all in.
You're
at
ready.
this point. And I was like, she finally messaged me and she goes, "Do you even work out, bro?" And obviously my picture's like me and my shirt off.
Go
right?
ahead on.
She's like, "Do you work out, bro?" And I was like, "Oh,
I'm in.
I'm in." And then ghost me again.
Oh, that's rude.
And then I find her on Instagram. Find her on Instagram. I set my notifications up to where if she posts, I know.
Dang.
So then she'd post on Instagram, and I'd immediately message her. Like I was all in. Like every sales technique I'd ever learned in
Dang,
my
girl,
life.
love that salad you're about to eat.
Yeah, whatever.
My goodness gracious.
And it was like squats. She's squatting like 225. Like she's a stud. So then eventually I talked her into going out, and then I got snowed in Greenville, South
Of
Carolina.
course.
The day we were supposed to eat, and I was like, "Hey, I promise, I'm not ghosting you. Like I will be there tomorrow." So we went to go for lunch the next day. We've not been a week apart from each other since that day,
Go
and
right
it's
on.
going on 4 years.
And it's working.
So, oh yeah, she's awesome.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
man.
the real story though is awesome. I'll tell you.
Okay.
But
Well,
anyways,
yeah, we'll get there.
yeah. But anyways, back to the Polynesian thing. I find that culture fascinating because I've just went all in since I met her and her son. So I teach him more about Samoa than she does.
Right.
Because I'm a big wrestling fan, so like the Samoan dynasty is a
Yeah.
big family in that. So I'm like teaching him that, so he loves Samoan stuff.
Hold up. So that you said American Samoa. So is that obviously it's not a state because we
No,
only have
it's
50 states.
So it's like Puerto Rico.
oh, it's a territory.
Yep.
So are you born as a U.S. citizen over there?
yes,
This is wild, bro. This world. I've been around like a lot of
Yep.
places. This crazy.
but to get out, you got to join the military.
nah.
Right. I mean, to like get to the states, really, to like be able to be here.
I mean, so like basically that's the one way to do it.
Yeah, so like there's more people. So Football Island and the most people that join the military per capita is American Samoa.
Because of the size and everything.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
So Western Samoa is right beside it. That's Samoa.
Okay.
Samoa, actually. I'm going to get beat up.
Yeah.
So Samoa.
Somebody's about to watch.
Yeah.
The Rock's going to be watching this
Yeah.
podcast one day. Like, don't you ever disrespect him.
Yeah. So yeah, he's like an honorary chief over there.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so her family's from Western Samoa, like the tribal system.
Yeah.
They moved to American Samoa, and that's where she
awesome.
was born. So it's like, yeah, man, it's crazy. I can't wait to get.
No,
down
that's
there.
dope.
And
yeah.
they closed down as soon as COVID happened. So like nobody in and
Yeah.
out. Like even their governor couldn't even get back in. Like he was out of the country.
They're like,
and they wouldn't
screw
let him back in.
y'all.
Yeah. So, anyways, man,
Yeah.
but like the whole Polynesian culture is amazing. So Hawaii,
Yes.
and then I guess you come back home.
Someone broke into my house. My mom was taking a bath. She was house sitting for me for a little minute because I didn't know what I was doing. I just went to Hawaii. I was supposed to go for a week, stayed for 2 months.
And your family's in Chattanooga.
Family's in Chattanooga.
Okay.
My mom's taking a bath. Someone breaks in the house. She calls me. She's like, someone just broke in the house.
And your mom's in the bath.
She's in the bath. Like, I guess they heard her. She had water splashing around. They get out. We find a screwdriver in the backyard. Like, everything. They popped one of my windows.
What area is the house?
You could say like Bonnie Oak. The
Okay.
first house was the Bonnie Oaks area.
Cool.
So decent area, you know,
Yeah.
the DMV, like,
Yeah.
and but then again, you ain't gonna steal from the poor, so you got to go get somebody with some bread, you know.
Right. Yep.
And I post everything, so people know I'm gone.
Mm.
So obviously, I don't know if it's somebody I know, but to this day, I don't know because I didn't have cameras at the time.
One of those 500,000 followers.
Come on, it could be. And so at that point, I'm like, yo, I got to book like literally, I'm sitting there eating some food with my cousin. I remember sitting there. He was at the bar having a beer or something like that, and I was like, bro, I got to book a flight. I got to go. I can't like just be okay with this. Like my mom was there. She's freaked out. So I head home, and then I'm like, let me go visit my cousins up in Syracuse. I go up there, and I'm having a conversation with my uncle. That's the moment I stop eating meat. I'm talking to my uncle. He's talking about like, dude, what in the world? Like, how can you eat chicken and stuff? It's like your flesh. So he starts pointing at his arm and stuff, and I'm like, okay, you have a point. I quit. So basically, that was like the day.
Right.
Then we're sitting there, and I'm like, yo, my mom has a cousin in Italy. That would be kind of cool. We call her through some like, you know, like these WhatsApp, yeah. Like we call her on there. She answers or something. She's like, yeah, come on. I'm like, I'm going to Italy in like 2 weeks. I come home to Chattanooga. I hit the gym for like 2 weeks. Boom, I take off to Italy. The only time I met this lady was when I was like 1. She used to babysit me when I was a baby. She came to the United States for like a work visa or visit visa.
Yeah.
And she would babysit me to help my mom out. I go out there. I see her at the airport. I know it's her. I'm like, that's the only person that looks. I've never seen her as an adult. We didn't even have any pictures of her.
Sure.
I only had a picture when she was babysitting me. So I was like, but that's her for sure. So she starts talking to me in Ukrainian and everything. She gives me a place to stay. She takes me around like, where was I? Bologna. I went to Rome. I went to Florence. I went to Naples. And then I was like, well, this is pretty cool. I convinced one of my other cousins to just pull up on me out there. So he comes like while I'm halfway through my trip, he comes out for like a week. So then I'm like, man, this is like dope. That's when I caught the true like travel bug. Hawaii was dope. I was just in paradise. I think that's one of the best places in this earth, literally. That's like top 3. But then when I'm out in Italy, I'm like, man, this is kind of cool. Like I'm interacting with different people. Like you don't even speak the same language. Everybody doesn't speak English around the world, bro. Like they try to, but that doesn't mean they do. So then I'm like, I'm really catching this bug. I'm going to go home though, because I had a trip planned to go to Bali with my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
So he had
where is Bali? Excuse me.
Indonesia.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Right.
beautiful place. If y'all ever get the chance, definitely go to Bali. But so I'm waiting on that moment. I'm back in Chattanooga doing odd and things. I don't even know what I was doing at that point. And then I'm like, bro, I'm bored. Is it cool if I just come out early? But he has roommates, so I can't just like pull up, you know, because I'm crashing on their couch too.
Right.
And he's like, man, one of my roommates, she's tripping, bro. Blah blah blah. And I was like, man, I ain't coming out there and then going back home, and then coming back out to fly to Bali because we were flying from Hawaii. And he's like, bro, screw it, come on. So I fly out again. So we ended up like having 4 weeks again of like kicking it, gym
In Hawaii.
In Hawaii. So I'm gymming it. You wake up, you're going on
How's
hikes.
the gyms out there?
They're pretty dope. I mean,
Okay.
you got like 24-hour fitness.
Gotcha.
You can go to CrossFits
I
or like
gotcha.
the jiu-jitsu stuff is pretty hot right now over there.
Okay.
But like we were going to 24-hour fitness or whatever it was, like getting it in. But then you're going for a run in the afternoon. Then you're hitting the beach for like 6 hours, playing spike ball. Like it's a lifestyle, bro. Like living
Mhm.
out there is a true lifestyle. And then we go out to Bali for 17 days, and that was like. So Bali's Indonesia. I believe they're still considered a third world country. your U.S. dollars around the world are so powerful. So you're out there, like, let's say you've been to First Watch before.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to First Watch, you get, let's say, avocado toast, then you get like a fresh juice. You're paying, 15 to 17, 18 bucks. Then
20
you gotta
bucks.
leave 20 bucks.
Yeah.
Little tip or whatever. You're probably out
Family
door-
of 360, no matter where you go.
$60. There you
McDonald's,
go.
50 bucks.
There you go. Out there, you're getting avocado toast because they start mimicking what the West is doing. So they start providing the avocado toast on the fancy bread with the cute little cups and all that stuff, but you're paying $2. So we're like, bro, this is crazy. Because when I went to Italy, the euro is bigger than the U.S. dollar. So I was getting hit in the reverse side of things. It was a negative effect for me.
Right.
So everything's more expensive. So then when we go to Bali, I'm like, bro, this is crazy. We're like, dude, I want an extra milkshake. I want this. I want that. You're getting a room for $20 a night. Like, very nice. Like, this is crazy. This is why traveling is so dope. And we did 17 days of that. We were freaking, dude, we went to like this place called Uluwatu. Then you're like in Ubud. Uluwatu is like more of like Hawaii vibes. You're on the beach. There's tons of tourists, bro. It's like guys from the States surfing. People live over there, bro. Like, it's unreal to see how many Americans are in Bali, like chilling for 6 months at a time, a year at a time. And then we go into like more of like the middle where it's like city and jungle vibes and everything. We're like chilling with monkeys. Like, it's dope. And you're getting the best types of food. And this is where my life changed, honestly. We had a day or 2 days before we were about to leave, and I didn't have my flight. I had a one-way. That's just how I am. And my cousin, he already bought his flight. He booked it and everything. And I'm like, bro, David, I don't think I can go back home with you. Like, I don't think I can go back to Hawaii with you. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just every day just spending money, going to the gym. Like, it's cool, but you can only make so much content out there, when you're like this travel guy. I was creating travel content at this point. And I was like, I can only do so much. Like, how many hikes can I go on and really intrigue you? He was like, I feel you. Like, he was sad. I was sad. Like, we were like, man, this really sucks. Because we've been kicking it for almost like 3 months.
Right.
It was like a
relationship.
Yeah. Like, it's what do they call it? Like, we became bros. Or
like bromance.
A bromance.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. And I was like, bro, I'm going to China. And I booked China flights and everything. I get an Airbnb, and then the Airbnb host is like, you understand that you have to have some kind of clearance or something because Trump right now is beefing with. It's when he was like beefing, like
Putting
telling
the tariffs.
them, the tariffs. He was beefing with them, and so they started putting restrictions on U.S. citizens coming in. And I was like, man, bump this. I'm forfeited because they wouldn't like refund me and all that stuff. I was like, man, I don't care about this. Whatever, screw it. I was like, I'm going to the Philippines, bro. I go to the Philippines. I meet this taxi driver outside. So when you go, have you traveled internationally a lot or no?
No.
Okay. So I got stories, bro. Okay.
I'm fascinated.
Okay. So, all right. I don't want to talk too much, though.
You
Tell
talk
me if I'm talking.
No, you talk. This is your show.
Tell me if I'm talking too much, and I will stop. And interject at any time. So I get to the Philippines. Obviously, they don't speak great English over there, right? They're speaking, it's called Telugu or something like that. And so I'm like, okay, I'm in the airport. Let me get some cash out of the ATM, convert it into their money.
Walk through that real quick.
Okay.
So you show up to a different country.
Yep.
And you're like, I need some cash.
Well, before that, you got to get through customs. So they're going to decide if they're going to let you in the country. What are you here for? I'm a tourist. Are you going to stay here? Because U.S. citizens come over here and just freeload. But like there's certain countries that are like, no, like let's do an interrogation real quick.
So like interrogated like Scarface, like when they came over from Cuba?
Okay. Not that bad because they were like that was like government asylum, all that stuff. This is more like, okay, where are you going? Where are you going to be staying? Why are you here? How long are you staying for? When are you leaving? What do you want to do here? They're just trying to like, but I'll be honest again, if you come with a U.S. passport, you typically 99% of the time will get let in because your currency is very heavy.
To the Philippines.
Basically any country.
Gotcha. Okay.
And most countries are okay with U.S. citizens coming. So that all happens. I'm walking, okay. You go through customs. They're like, what are you doing? And blah, blah, blah. You're talking to them. They're like, okay.
Do they speak English?
They kind of have to because another good little tip for you. So many people from the U.S., actually mostly men, go over to the Philippines, get a girlfriend.
Yep, bring them back.
And then they bounce back and forth. That's so common, bro. Like, I was out there. I met a guy. I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I married a girl here. I came out here. I was in the military or something, and I came out here.
Got the sports barn. He had a wife from the Philippines.
Yeah.
She spoke zero English
Literally,
at the sports
bro.
barn. He'd be like just talking to her,
Yeah.
and, like sign language. She's like, I'm moving down there.
Yeah.
I'm a millionaire down there. And I was like, okay,
That's
cool.
facts.
Yeah, that's what
That's
he told me.
how
He's
strong.
a truck driver. He goes,
Yep.
I'm a millionaire down there.
That's how strong the U.S. currency is over there. And so I go to a quick ATM. I get through customs, go to an ATM. I take out whatever. Let's say like $500.
Mhm.
In USD value, it'd be $500. I get it there. And then I'm walking out. All of a sudden, you get swarmed, right? Taxi drivers. Come with me, my friend. Come with me. And you're like, nah, I'm good. You keep brushing them off. This one just kept sticking out to me, okay? Mr. Victor, great guy.
Yeah.
Nick Victor. And he's like, come with me. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to come with you. How much is it to get to my place? He's like, oh, I'll cut you a deal, blah, blah, blah. You know, cutting deals.
Mm-hmm.
Then I just tell him, I'm like, hey, you know, he's like, what are you? I'm like, I'm a Christian. You know, that's my faith. That's what I believe. He's like, I'm a missionary. I'm a Christian missionary. And I'm like, in the Philippines? Like, I thought they were more into like Buddhism and
Right.
those different type of
Sure.
religions. And he's like, no, actually in the Philippines, it's mostly Christian. Like, a lot of Christians are over there. And I was like, that's crazy. No one taught me that. I don't know. I didn't research the Philippines. I just showed up.
Right.
He's taking me to my Airbnb, and I'm like, bro, could you take me around wherever we are right now, like for the next couple days, and I just pay you, let's say, whatever that is, you know, $200 a day or whatever it is. Like, I don't know, just take care of them. He's like, for sure. Bro, the next day he comes pick me up. We go do the sightseeing crap, like the Mall of Asia, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not a big tourist guy. I don't like that stuff. Then he takes me to the slums. I'm like, okay, now we're talking.
Right.
I'm playing a whole, like, pickup game with Filipino kids, what you would call here the ghetto,
Right.
in the slums of the
Mhm.
Philippines, in Manila. That's the city, Quezon City. And so he's like, okay, we're going to go have a fish feast at the church. We got a church service going on. So I'm like, okay. So we go to the market. Markets are crazy out there, bro. Like flea market, but like on steroids.
Like open market too.
Like outside,
Yeah.
you're walking around, people are chopping up fish, like chop, 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 eyeballs pop, like you're just buying it. Like, it's healthy. You know what I mean, it's
Right.
what they do. It's normal. That's how it is in Ukraine, everywhere else. Like, I'm used to that kind of stuff. That's normal for me. So he's like, okay, so I buy all this fish and whatever it is, like, it's cheap for me, right? I'm feeding the whole church, and I'm like, heck
Right.
yeah, I feel great about this. Like,
Yeah.
come on. So I go to church, go to the church, get the end of it. All the men in there, all the women start setting everything up. They had me speak up on stage. I'm like, this is crazy. This is when, like, things really started, like, oh, he's a vlogger. So I'm, like, getting boosted throughout all these moments, and I'm like, man, this is, like, weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, you played football, you got the accolades and the MVP here and the pictures, and
Right.
but, like, they're like, hey, can we take selfies? Can we, like, it started happening. And I'm like, okay. Like, and you got to figure out how to control that too.
Mm-hmm.
Because you let that get to your head, it's very easy to all of a sudden you're
Sure.
this standoff person, and now nobody really likes you. So we do this whole, like, church feast, and he's like, yo, your Airbnb right now with traffic is 2 hours away. And I'm like, bro, no, like, I need to get to my Airbnb.
Right.
And he's like, I mean, it's going to take us 2 to 3 hours. And I was like, what's the alternative? He was like, we just sleep here. Like, this is, let me get right. This church, when I say church, this is a cinder block building. That's it. It didn't even have air. Like, this is a cinder block building with concrete floor, not finished, with a door.
Yeah.
That latched.
Right.
It latched.
Right.
It didn't lock.
Like a bathroom.
Basically. And so I was like, well, God, please protect me from anything evil. That, like, God, please, like, hold me down here, right? I lay down on a tile floor. There was a little platform.
You got a blanket?
We had one blanket. My man, his name was, like, Midge. That's how his name was, MIJ. He was his son.
Mhm.
Very smart dude. I still follow him on Facebook and Instagram. He lays down. We put the blanket out. I lay down. My man, Nick Victor, was on a lawn chair. You know, the ones that have the little things that start
Yeah.
sinking?
Yeah.
That's the long ones. He laid down in one of them. We all wake up the next morning. I slept on the floor in a Filipino church. That blew my mind. With people I didn't know. I met them a day before that.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm like, okay, this is crazy. I get another Airbnb out there, and I'm like, okay, so let's do this. I see these little kids begging for money and stuff, and I'm like, I ain't got no cash on me. I need to get some cash. I'll give you some cash later. I don't see the little kid later. And I'm like, ask this little girl, I'm like, where's the boy? And she's like, boy. Like, they don't speak English either yet. You know, they're very little.
Right.
And she's like, come. I show you. And I'm like, okay. I don't know where I'm going. We go under this, like, under the road, bro, into this concrete, like, cut out hallway, which is under the road. So it's like the slums again.
Mm-hmm.
People are living in concrete squares inside of these walls. There's ladders to get up to your square. That's where the poor people are living, bro. I'm going down this corner. People are looking at me crazy. And I'm like, what's going on? Maybe I'm a white guy walking with a little Filipino girl, like, going through the slums,
Do
right?
you ever think, like, I'm about to get jumped?
I did not until I'm going to get there. Okay. I walk around the corner. We go through another little concrete square hole. And I see this dude sitting there on his phone. He looks a little aggressive. Like what's up? And I'm like, you know, the mom comes out. Little boy comes out butt naked. He was getting bathed. Like, they pour the water on him. They ain't got bathtubs. They're in a concrete cell type deal. Little boy comes out. I'm like, I gave the money. The mom takes it, obviously, like, for rice or whatever.
Right.
I get out. Then the dude, Midge, the young guy, the guy's son that I was sleeping next to, was like, bro, don't you ever do that again. Because I didn't give him time to tell me not to do what I was doing. I just started following the girl.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, that location you just walked into, people get murdered in there, and the cops don't go in there. He was like, cops literally do not enter in there, because when policemen enter in there, they know that there's a high possibility that they will get killed.
Mm.
But see, I was moving quick. I wasn't like, oh, talking to this person. I was hum, boom. Then I see the little kid. I gave him the money, and I took out. I wasn't thinking about it. That's just how I was moving in that moment. But he was like, don't ever do that again. He was like, people literally die down there, and cops won't go down there to investigate. Like, that's how crazy it is. So then I started like, okay, maybe I need to really think. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me kind of process what I do before. That didn't last long. Okay, because then I was like, well, I'm going to Philippines. I went Thailand. Okay, I booked a flight after, like, Philippines. I didn't do no, like, sightseeing for real. I didn't go into, like, the jungle areas where people, like, go and get on little raft boats. So I was like, this city life ain't for me. I'm out. And I'm by myself, so you got to think I'm trying to entertain myself. I'm trying to film. I'm editing.
Or do you have, like, a big camera like this? Like,
Yeah.
what are you walking around with?
So my vlog camera it's not as big as that, but it is like a DSLR, Panasonic or something like that, Lumix,
Okay.
with a mic with the little fur thing on top. And so, you know, I'm walking around, like, you got to get comfortable. You got people looking at you, like, it's pressure. You start feeling hot, but you're trying to keep talking. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting better. And then I decided to book that flight out of there, and I'm like, I'm going Thailand. And so I pull up to Thailand. I go to Bangkok first, and I'm like, okay, I get a little Airbnb somewhere, take an Uber, go visit, like, a bunch of temples, and just kind of, like, immerse myself in the culture and just see what they do. You know, go walk through some little alleyways, buy some literal people, like a restaurant, but it's not a restaurant. They're just cooking on a grill outside of the room that they basically live in. So I'm, like, eating fish that they're grilling outside of the room that they basically live in.
Are you paying them for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's technically a restaurant, but you know they live there. Like,
right.
And it's just on a normal street.
Sure.
Where there's, like, tons of outside vendors. And so that lasted for a couple of days. And I was like, a little boring, nothing crazy here. And then so I'm like, okay, let me go south. So I went to it's called, like, Phuket, and it's spelled like Phuket. And there I went to, like, a elephant sanctuary and everything.
That's cool.
And what I did realize, though, that's why people go to Thailand.
For the elephant sanctuary.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. After the elephant sanctuary, there's this street. I forget what it's called. It's like, I never been to what's in Nevada, the place people go, Las Vegas. Yeah. I've never been there, but I've been to New Orleans.
Okay.
And I've been on those streets.
I just got back from Vegas not too long ago.
Okay, it's probably that times 4. It's crazy. Like, you're getting pulled from every direction. Guys, girls, you want a massage? You want $1? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really want a massage type stuff. Like,
right.
All that stuff. Like, it's happened, but it's constant. It's like one after another, and it's just bounce, and you're almost in this, like, daze of people, and music is blaring, and it's just happening for hours and hours. It's basically, I guess, Las Vegas, but
Gotcha.
on steroids.
Gotcha.
And I was like,
In Thailand.
yeah, in Thailand
With little English.
with little English. But now you're starting to see tons of Russian people, Ukrainian people. People are now, this is a tourist location. So now you got people from all over the world. Italy, you know, like Europe. Everybody's going there. It's cheap. Their money's good too, you
And
know.
you're vlogging right there.
And I'm vlogging. Like, I'm trying to film. But then I'm trying to, like, watch myself because, you know, like, pickpocketing, like, that's real. People stealing you, jumping you.
Sure.
Like, you got to be careful. And I'm by myself. So I'm like, okay, let me be more cautious here. And then I got done there, and I was like, okay, I used to play this game called Counter-Strike. It was like a shooting game.
Yeah,
You
the
ever
computer
played?
game. Yeah,
Yeah.
back in the day.
Bro, and there was a thing where you could go to Sri Lanka. That's the only reason I knew what Sri Lanka was. It's because I used to respawn, like, in one of those locations. And come to find out, it's a freaking country that's an island that's right underneath, like, Thailand and all that other stuff. Right under India, basically. And I was like, okay, bet. Like, let me book this flight. I go out to Sri Lanka, didn't do no research. I get there, and they start asking me questions. They're like a little more in depth. So I'm a little confused. I'm like, what is happening? Like, this is weird. Why would y'all not want my money? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I get through customs and everything, and I start talking to a taxi driver. Like, we'll be cheaper. We'll be cheaper. Come. Like, I'm like, you know, whatever. Like, take me where I need to go. Man, they're like, we had a suicide bombing with like 300 people get killed a month ago. And so our country's been like shut down. They just started letting people come in. So some dude went into a church, like a mosque, boom, blew it up, 300 people. I don't read the news when I'm going somewhere. So I pull up, and they're like, why are you here? And I was like, I don't know, vacation. They're like, oh, right now is a bad time. All this is happening. So I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy. I'm like, whatever, though. You know, it's a month later. Nothing to do with me. Like, I'm in Sri Lanka. I used to play it on the game. So then I just get a random Airbnb, get dropped off, find myself kind of in the slums again. I gravitate to those type of areas. And so ended up like these little kids be playing soccer out there. So I was like, shoot, I want to play. They don't speak no English though, but I can play soccer.
Right.
So I started playing soccer with them, and there's this one little kid, man. He's freaking cold, bro. He was like 8 years old. He was like a little Ronaldo. I'm like, I'm buying you some cleats. Because one day, if you become Ronaldo, bro, just be like, yo, big shout out to the white guy that came out to Sri Lanka one day. And so, like, I'd take him with me, like, in an Uber. I don't even know if he told his parents. Like, I took him and his little brother. Yeah, he's 8, bro. So that's kind of scary, right?
Yeah.
I take this little kid to the mall, buy him cleats. And now that I'm talking about that out loud, it sounds like really bad. Ethan, do you agree?
Well, it's different cultures. Like in America, we protect them too much. But I get it.
Yeah, I was just like talking out loud, and that was like
it's different cultures.
Yeah, that just kind of threw me off thinking about that. I started turning red and stuff. No, but like I go and I take him to the mall, literally buy him some cleats, buy him food, you know, just take care of him and everything. Take him out to eat.
He speak English?
No, like almost zero. Like I would have to do the translate thing on my phone to talk to him.
Gotcha.
So, but now when we were in the mall and stuff, they're all speaking their language.
Sure.
They're Sri Lankan or whatever it was. So like he's talking to the grown man, like, yeah, this guy's buying me cleats, blah, blah, blah. Now you could tell people were looking at me funny. Like, what is this dude doing with this kid who don't speak the same language as him? Like, what's funny business going on? Mm-hmm. I got him back. Again, took him out to eat, took all his little crew out to eat, bought him stuff. Like, it's so cheap out there, bro. Like, you could buy a loaf of bread that was baked at home for $1. Like, come on now, made with love, not like freaking Sara Lee or something.
$15 loaf of bread.
Come on, right? Yeah. And so like Panera bread that you can go buy fresh is like $1.25 over there. Yeah. So that was a great experience. And then I went and just took a train ride all the way across Sri Lanka from the west to the east, and that took about a day or two. And I just kind of crashed at this one place called I think it was like Candy or something. I can't remember the city's name. And then I was like, you know what? Not really feeling this. Like, I was kind of feeling lost throughout all this. This all sounds cool, but, like, this is when I started feeling weird. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, I haven't seen any family or friends in a really long time. And it wasn't like college. You know, college, you got your homeboys you start getting cool with. Like, you're on a football team. So now, okay, you got this guy. Right. You guys can relate. I was by myself. These folks didn't speak the language I spoke. And you're like, man, like, this is a business now. Like, I'm really pushing for this to be a business because I need to make some money. Mm-hmm. I'm not monetized yet. All this is coming out of my pocket. So just to give you some perspective, I've already traveled to 3 or 4 countries. I'm not monetized. I've made $0 off YouTube, and I was probably at 1,500 subscribers at this point, or give or take.
Mm-hmm.
And so from Sri Lanka, I get a flight to. Oh, I was like, bro, I'm right next to Dubai. Never knew nothing about no Dubai. Just popped up on Instagram every now and then. I was like,
Right.
why not? I pull up to Dubai. Craziest experience ever, bro.
I wanna go
Like
there so
in
bad.
a good way. Like
Yeah.
nothing crazy. I get out to Dubai. My SIM card doesn't work, so I'm like, okay, I don't have a SIM card. But I get on the transit train, whatever you call it. It's taking me to where I'm supposed to go, I think. So this dude next to me is like, bro, do you know where you're going? I was like, not at all. Now you got to think, Dubai is like the United States of America for all those countries. So everybody is it's a melting pot here, right? You
Right.
got your wife from the American Samoa. You got
Yeah.
Ukrainians, Russians.
Right.
That's the same thing over for that area. You got Saudis over there. You got Indians over there. You got Russians,
Sure.
Ukrainians. Like that, Dubai and USA are very similar as far as like melting pot type
Right.
of individuals.
Mm-hmm.
So once we're out there, or once I'm out there, I'm like, man, this dude's like helping me on the train. He's like, here, use my hotspot, like, so I can at least you can get to the right train station, like, 'cause I didn't know where I was going.
Right.
I get out, it's blistering hot, bro. Like probably like 105
Mhm.
Fahrenheit, and I'm like, wow. But I love the heat, so I'm like, sweat it on, baby. Like I'm doing this. I'm out there. I get in this nice hotel. Now it got expensive. I'm $70 a night for a hotel. I'm like, this hurts. 3 months later, I'm still in Dubai. I done went to Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. I done went camel riding in the freaking desert. I done went, they got like a 7-star hotel. I done went to go see that. I done went
A
to.
7-star
It's
hotel?
stupid, bro. Like, you can make up anything in Dubai. It's your choice. If you have enough money out there. Let me tell you some really cool stuff about Dubai. Basically, if you are a local, not if you were born there and your dad came over 50 years ago, then you were born there. No, if you have heritage ties to the local, I don't know how that works because they all came from somewhere.
Yeah.
If you have local ties, you will never be broke. The government will always take care of you. So I have friends out there that explain it to me like this. If, let's say, you had a G-Wagon and you couldn't pay it, you tell the government, I can't afford this. They'll cover it.
That's why all those cars be running around there.
Come on. That's crazy. So I go out there, randomly go get a SIM card, like at a whatever. It was called like DU or something
Mhm.
like that. I start talking
For
to
your
the guy.
phone.
For my phone. I
Yeah.
need to, Instagram, whatever,
Yeah.
GPS. I start talking to this guy at the DU place, and he's like, bro, you need some help? And I was like, yes. Like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. He's young. He was like 30 years old. And he was like, bro, just meet me after work. I'm about to get off. Like, we can talk and everything. We get to talking. This dude becomes like my personal tour guide. And now, I still talk to him. Like,
Right.
he's my dog. And so we get super cool. He connects me with this company out there that lets me do the camel riding, the world's largest tower, all this stuff that costs money. They're started sponsoring all my videos. Like, they paid the ticket for everything that I wanted to do. Not like the hotel or anything,
Right.
but anything I wanted to go do. We went to a $1 billion mosque called the Sheikh Zayed Mosque in
Mhm.
Abu Dhabi. They paid for it. They got me there on a bus. We went on yachts. Like, it was crazy. All free. So now I'm like, whoa, this is YouTube. This is how it works. Like, okay, this is kind of cool. I can get down with this. Like, people
Right.
are paying for the stuff, and they're boosting you. Like, oh, I love how the videos came out, and this, that, and the other. And then I go visit a few things on my own. Like, they got this one place called like the Gold City. It's called Gold Souk, and basically there's just like billions of dollars worth of gold, like shop after shop. I walked into one shop that was like $77 million worth of gold. Like they wear it as like t-shirts. Gold t-shirts, bro. I put it on and everything. He even put a tiara on my head. I put a tiara on that was whatever carat gold. Real stuff, man. But what I learned about Dubai, and it's so sad, slave labor is real.
Right.
So people in surrounding countries, let's say they're from Iraq, Afghanistan, wherever they're from, right? Pakistan, India. Back home, they can only make, let's say, $100 a month.
Mm-hmm.
USD to help survive their family, right? Food,
Right.
necessities. They go to Dubai and they make $150 a month. They get free housing though. They get like 2 meals a day, so they can send that money back. So now their family gets $150. They're not there, so they're not taking part of that money for food, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So they're taking care of their wife, their kids, whatever it is. and they're just being housed like bunk beds, like grown men. Think of college dorm football.
Right.
4 beds in one room, maybe 6 to 7. Like I walked into these places, bro, on purpose with my boy. Like 7 grown 35, 40, 55-year-old men from different countries making $150, maybe 200 USD a month, but they send it back home. People from Ghana, from Africa, like all those countries, bro, Zimbabwe, you name it, like all that stuff. People are coming over there just to make a living, to send it back home so that they can help their wife and kids.
Right.
And what they would do is work 11 months straight and then get like 1 month off to go visit. So typically the companies would buy their airplane ticket. The craziest thing is those people that hired them, the employers, they could sell the rights to that person. So you, Gunner, have a business, construction. I own, technically, he's on my work visa. I got this guy here named James, right? James, you go, man, I need a James. And I go, okay. I pay him $150. Give me $200 for him. I just made $50 off of his work visa by just transferring the papers to you.
So it's like a staffing company with no regulations
at all. That's like that's Dubai in a nutshell. It's crazy, bro. Like, and it's so sad. And I hate to even talk about that stuff, but that's real. Right. Like, you can go to there's 2 Dubais. There's New Dubai and Old Dubai. So which is crazy. So like, you go to Old Dubai, you can tell there's a line. It's called a picture frame. It separates the old one from the new one. The old one is where like the people live that are like into the whole helping build the world's largest tower that make $200 a month. The new Dubai is the G-Wagons and the mansions. And I lived in one. I got an Airbnb in a mansion. And I even like titled it. I was like, buying a mansion or something, clickbait.
Right.
And so I lived in this mansion that was surrounded by walls and everything, like with like 4 strangers that I saw in passing. Like, so I had a room, it has locks, like everybody had a room, and you had like the common kitchen or whatever.
Right.
And so you see people, you're like, oh, what's up? Don't even know their names. And I did that for like a month and a half. And finally, this dude was like, I got cool with this other dude who was from India, from South India. It's called Kerala. That's where like everything blew up for me. He's like, bro, like, you got to go over there. You got to go. It's like the best place in the world. I ain't never heard of it. I thought India was one place.
Right.
Like, I thought it was India.
Sure.
That's it. There's like 33 states or something. I was like, what in the world? Man, I wish they would teach us this stuff in freaking school, man.
Right.
That'd be fun to learn instead of geometry and Pythagorean theories that I still haven't used. Ever. Don't even know what you use them for.
Nothing.
Okay, yeah. So I was like, okay, maybe. And he was like, no, you have to go. You have to go. You have to go. And I'm like, not right now. Like, I'm still here. I don't want to rush into nothing. Because I was thinking about going back to Europe. I go to some Indian restaurants. I'm like, bro, this food is gas. Like, straight fire. And I'm like, why are people eating with their hands? I'm, like, disgusted at this point, right? I'm like, this is weird. He's like, no, bro, that's real. That's their culture. Like, that's norm. Like, they're not doing that to disgust you. They eat with their hands. And I'm like, let me try this. I'm like, I eat French fries with my hands. I eat burgers with my hands, tacos. Right. I'm like, okay, I get it. We can do some rice with our hands. Let me practice. So then I go to these Indian restaurants. I start making videos, and my videos start getting like 5,000 views, 10,000 views. And I'm like, what's going on? This is crazy. Then my dude's like, yo, I know the chef at this famous restaurant. Like, they'll give you free everything. You just come make a video. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm eating it with my hands. Like, you wash your hands before you eat. Like, right. It's an experience. So when you're technically, scientifically, when you're like, you start salivating, right? When you see the food, and then there's oils that your fingers actually produce while you're eating. So that's why they say that, like, over there, a lot of Southwest Asian countries eat with their hands, because they're like, it makes the experience so much better. And you're like, like, it really creates this, like, it's almost like, it's not sexual, but it almost feels like it. It's like a relationship with the food. And so I'm like, okay, we can do this. So I start doing that. Boom, 20,000 views. I'm like, what is happening? This is weird. Like, people are watching me eat food with my hands. I am so unsure of what's happening right now. Right. I started feeling weird. Then I got my brothers calling me. They're like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
right.
What is that? Like, why are you eating? Like, why are you sucking on your fingers and stuff? And I'm like, I don't know. I like it. It's working, and the food's good.
Yeah.
The restaurant owner of that restaurant, the famous restaurant, calls his go-to guy in Dubai and says, tell him I'm inviting him to India. If he comes, I'm going to get him a hotel. I'm gonna let him eat for free for whatever, how long, 2 weeks
You.
or something. Me. He just needs to make me a few videos. I'm like, say less. The plane ticket was like $67.
Yeah.
It was a 4-hour flight from Dubai to South India. I was like, say less. I'm there. The next week, boom. It's called Kerala. I hit Kerala and I hit this city called Kokod. And I learned a few phrases, like, hey, how
So
are
you were
you?
doing the Indian culture in Dubai.
Bro, Dubai is like little India.
Okay, and then you flew to India
The real India.
because the guy had
Because
a buddy.
this guy,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
So the owner of all these restaurants, he's like loaded, right? Like load. Let me tell you something. When you're rich in India, you're rich. You're not. There's no. Oh yeah, I make $1 million. Like you're rich, and that's just final.
Right.
Like you're paying 2.5x for a Lambo out there because of tariffs and all these different things. Like so, it's a crazy, different lifestyle, bro.
Mhm.
Like so, if you got businesses and stuff, you're booming. If you're, with the lower class, like you're struggling. It's the rich get rich and the poor get poor. I know people say that over here, but over there, it's for real, for real. Like,
Right.
ain't no middle class. You just that class don't exist.
Right.
You ain't coming to class. So
Right.
literally, I get over there, and I'm like at 3,000 subscribers or something. I'm like, I finally got monetized right before I left Dubai. I made like a penny, and I was so stoked, bro. I was so hyped. I was like, let's freaking go. This is so cool. I made a penny. Like that moment, bro.
It is cool though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I ask, are y'all monetized?
We are.
You made a penny.
Yeah.
You made a penny.
Yep.
That
It's like $3.57. So
okay.
no big deal.
Hey,
Hey, man, I'm just saying.
357. Those are good numbers, bro.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Hey, you're gonna do great. You're gonna do great, just so you know. But so I get monetized in Dubai. I go over there. All of a sudden, I'm like $20 a day, and I'm like, this is cool. Then I'm like $25, $70. Then I post a video like 50,000 views, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like $35. This is wild. And again, I got my house on Airbnb back home. I got my mom taking care of that for me. I'm not worried about no mortgage. I'm not worried about all that stuff.
Right.
But I am paying to go from country to country. Then eventually, I go outside one day, bro, and I'm like, what's happening? There's like 100,000 people dressed in certain clothes. There's police escorts. I'm like, what is happening right now? I start asking. They speak a little bit better English down in the south of India, right there.
Okay.
A lot of young folks do know how to speak pretty good English down there. So
Okay.
I start asking the guys. I'm like, yo, what's happening? They're like, this is a Muslim rally. So there's some division, just like here. You got rallies for whatever. But like over there, the Hindus and the Muslims were clashing, and the Hindus were saying you don't belong to India if you're Muslim, and the Muslims were like, what do you mean we don't belong to India? Like my parents have been here for 80 years. Like,
right.
what do you mean? They're like, get out of the country if you're this. And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. Not that I don't care what's going on, because I don't know what it is. So I joined the route, like with my camera. I'm, chanting stuff. I have no idea what they're saying. They're speaking in their language. It's called Malayalam. And they're speaking their language. Bro, I get to the end of the march, and there's a stage. Like, this is 100,000 people, bro. Like, think about UTK, like Neyland Stadium sold out.
Right.
102, 455. Like,
Yeah.
that many people, bro. And so I start going towards, like, the police, and they're like, come to the front. And I'm like, okay, say less. Like, I got my camera out. The people start speaking on stage. They think I'm BBC News, bro.
Oh, my goodness.
They think I'm a journalist from, like, Britain or something. They're talking about how he came here to document the disparities and this and that and the other. I'm like, this is crazy. They're mentioning me like right there. You got to think, photographers. Every news station is there. Every newspaper is there. Bro, I've never taken so many pictures in my life. I probably took that day 350 selfies. Please, bro, one photo, please, bro. I'm like, okay. Like, this is crazy. My mind just got blown, like crazy blown. And
Like,
then
people are taking pictures with you because they think that you're somebody?
That's it. I don't know. I don't know. Like, they're like, and then, but the what's it called? Like, the power of, like, when
When one person comes to you, now the
Yes.
groups want to come. Like
Bro.
the entourage effect.
yes, that power is real. If you
No, I
ever
believe in that, yeah.
bro, I went from one selfie. Now people are tugging on you, so I'm getting bro, please, like, you're sweating, like it's hot. It's like 100 degrees out there, bro. Like, people are pulling on you. Now all the main people, like you let me think of somebody, like, so let's say like the governor of Tennessee
Mm-hmm.
is, which I have no idea who that is, but That's not what my story's about.
Right.
The governor of Tennessee is asking to take a picture with me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
my mind was getting blown. I'm like, this has got to be crazy. I go back to my room. I'm like, we waste no time. I edit the video. I don't know what they're saying. I make it into like 30 minutes. I post it that night. So all this is happening. I'm exhausted. I'm like, I don't care. Screw this. I'm going back to my room. I'm making this happen. And this is going out tonight. I drop it. And I'm exhausted. I'm like, oh my gosh, like 1,000.
Pass out.
Yeah, I'm like 1,000 views. Okay, in the first hour, that was crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, whoa. Then I'm like, I'm dead. I'm dead.
You know what
I'm
you
going to
titled
sleep.
it?
Something about the
In-
like Muslim rally.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, like something out there that had to do with that. And I was like, I'm going to sleep. I can't. Like, I was dead tired, bro. It was hot. The 350 selfies got me. Like, it was a build up experience. I wake up the next morning. The video has like 100,000 views. I'm at like 30,000 subscribers. So you know how you can see the analytics on YouTube where it says like where they're watching, browse features or external. It was all external features. It was getting sent like tens of thousands of links every single like hour or something. It was stupid, bro.
Like through Facebook, and just
WhatsApp.
text messages.
WhatsApp over there. So, okay, WhatsApp around the world is very important because in America we have 50 states. You can text from state to state.
Mhm.
You got to think, when you go to anywhere else in the world, these are all single countries. They don't have Verizon that covers Italy, Bulgaria, and Russia.
Sure.
Or Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all separated. So that's what WhatsApp is so huge. Like, I have WhatsApp so I can communicate with people from India, Ukraine, wherever it is, Dubai.
Gotcha.
So that's how you text with everybody else. So out there, it's saying WhatsApp is my number one external feature that's getting my views.
Sure.
I'm walking down the street. People are like, hey, come here, let me take a photo. Then some dude runs up to me with a newspaper. I'm like, I am the newspaper basically that day. Like, the stories all about me, this guy came, blah, blah, blah. So people were watching it last night. Editors, but let me type up this story. What did he get from this video? This, that, and the other.
People that weren't there.
Exactly. So 6 a.m. when the newspaper releases or whatever, however that works, boom, it's me on the front covers, everything. Everything is crazy. I'm like, this is unreal.
They even know who you are at this point?
Yeah.
I guess I found the
Well,
information from the channel.
They're like Niko TJR is my Instagram name. So like people are searching that. They're going back to life. They're kind of cross-referencing. And all of a sudden, I'm like, this is insane. But I'm like, okay, I got another couple days here, and then I'm going to bounce and go to the mountains, which is like the Lookout Mountain vibe.
Okay.
And I go to that of India. And I'm like, it's called Wayanad. I go up there. I get off the bus. I took a bus, bro. It was crazy. We were going like, think of going up to Signal Mountain, but on a charter bus, and they don't care, bro. They're honking full speed. Like, you get out of the bus's way. It's a roller coaster ride for real. Like you're looking over a cliff. There's monkeys. Like, they don't stop. Like, monkeys better get out the way. Like, that's how real. I hit a monkey in a Lamborghini, bro.
What?
Yeah, that was crazy. I'll get to that. That's pretty crazy. Am I boring anybody here?
No, not yet.
Am I still going? Okay.
Not yet.
So, moving forward, all this is happening, and I'm like, 30,000 subscribers, whatever. It's moving forward, going up. And then we get to, I get up there, I get off the bus. I'm walking down the street to go find my hotel or whatever, and this dude stops on a motorcycle. He's like, hey, man, you care if I give you a ride where you're going? I actually seen your YouTube videos. And I'm like, okay. I jump on a motorcycle with this dude. He tells his friend to walk real quick. He takes me to a hotel. The hotel cuts me a deal. They're like, oh, yeah, you'll make a video? I'm like, yeah, I'll make a video. They cut it like in half or something. And then they send like the owner sends his daughter to talk to me, like just to like be around and everything like that. And I was like, okay, cool. Nice to meet you. She was cool. Like, they're like, yeah, we'll give you half off. You just make a few videos for us. I was like, okay, cool. Then people started reaching out to the dude that picked me up on a motorcycle to try to get a hold of me. And me and him became really good friends. He took me around that whole city.
Right.
So then this other dude, so that was Dilshad. He picked me up on a motorcycle. Then this dude named Nadeem, his grandfather owns like a 5-star resort in the mountains. I thought they were buddies. They didn't even know each other. He's like, yo, come over for lunch, free. We don't want nothing. Just come over. Just like, he's a celebrity. Like, I became a celebrity at this point. I'm
Right.
a celebrity in South India. And I go over there and I'm like, after about an hour, they're showing me like the massage therapeutics. They got an artificial waterfall, the pools that go over the edge. And I'm like, bro, do y'all know each other? They're like, no, we never met. And I'm like, bro, I came here because I thought y'all were friends. He's like, oh, no. He's like, you can stay here if you want for free. at the resort for like, I was just gonna make a video. He's like, yeah, that's cool. How long you want to stay? I was like, I was just a week. I just threw it out there.
Yeah,
Like, a
right.
week, it's
3
fine.
years.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I stayed for like 3 weeks, and I just started making videos all around there. Well, then those started going viral. Now all of a sudden, I got in contact with a dude that was like his brother-in-law who worked over the marketing of everything, and he knew somebody in every city I was going to. So basically, I started traveling from city to city. But before I went to every city, I would hit him up, and I'm like, yo, do you got me? Do you think you can find somebody? And he's like, yeah, I got you a place for every single city you go to. I didn't pay for one hotel room, bro, besides that first one where I went to the mountains,
Yeah.
where they gave me half off. So all this is happening. All of a sudden, I'm talking about, they call it God's own country. They're very prideful of their land. And I'm like, how can y'all call this God's own country, but you got trash everywhere? India is a trash epidemic, bro. Like,
Right.
bad. Like, needles on the roads,
Sure.
like, everywhere. Then these, like, multi-millionaires get a hold of me. They're like, bro, we love what you're doing. We love what you stand for. We love your energy. Thank you, thank you. News channels are reaching out at this point. They're like, yo, we have a official Lamborghini drive event happening. You're in the city that we're leaving out of. Guess how many Lamborghinis were there?
100.
Okay, 55.
Okay.
55 Lamborghinis, bro. And I'm in one of them. Police escorts from city to city. We go from one city down to another, stay at a hotel, eat like crazy, drive another 4 hours, eat like crazy, another hotel, go down to the hotel we're staying at. We do all that kind of crazy stuff. And I'm like, this is unreal, bro. I'm in India in a Lamborghini. I ain't never been in a Lamborghini before that moment. I've seen them.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about cars, but I'm like, I'm driving with a stranger that I just met through Instagram who invited me to go on a 2 to 3 day excursion for free. I'm filming all this stuff. Those videos are going viral. Now all of a sudden, all the like major news networks start hitting me up. They're like, yo, we want to interview you. We want to do this. We want to talk to you this. Now Instagram is like 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers. Like, it starts booming. And I'm like, this is unreal. Like, social media is crazy. Because you got to think, like, just because I woke up with more followers doesn't mean I was expecting it or that my life completely changed. But now all of a sudden, you're being pulled at. I'm getting 1,000 direct messages a day. Like, you can't even keep up with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Right.
not like you changed as a person. You don't have enough time for it.
Sure.
Because you also got to go film, edit, post on
Right.
4 different platforms. So now I got like tens of thousands of people trying to reach me from all different directions. So over there, I kind of tighten up my circle of, if this dude hits me up, I got him. Like, if somebody wants to meet me or whatever it is. So I become like this crazy celebrity out there, bro. People drawing me. I have like hundreds of drawings of me, bro, on my phone. Like, people emailing them to me, tagging me on Instagram, making videos for me, about me, like kind of like tributes,
Right.
like with pictures and however all that works. But artists, real artists, bro. Pictures, like right now, if you looked at me the way I looked back then, it would look like a real artist. Like, they were real artists drawing me, bro.
Right.
Graphic designers making like pictures of me and everything. And then I was out there and I was like, this is unfreaking real. And I hadn't been home in 8 months. And I was like, I'm getting homesick though. Like, I don't know if I miss my family. I don't know if I missed my family, but like, I didn't know what was going on. Like, it was a lot, bro.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to go home and kind of just chill out for a sec. I didn't tell everybody in my family. It was like a Christmas surprise. I show up and my brother like picks me up from the airport secretly. I knock. I surprise my nieces and nephews, my older brother and stuff. That was like super sentimental and it was great. But then I come home and everything stops. It was weird. Like, you're on this high of social media and then you come home and it's a different world. Your brother's going to work. He's going to his business. Your mom's doing this. Your dad's doing that. And you're like, but I missed you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, can we kick it for like a week? Because I've been kicking it for the last 8 months.
Right.
But their life goes on. They were watching you on videos. They were watching you on YouTube. Like, they saw you going crazy from minute to minute to minute. Now, all of a sudden, you're in their world, but they're busy. Like, they got to go to work. So I was like, I started feeling like sad over here. Like, I was like, man, I don't know if I can stay here. So I was like, I got to get on the road again. I go out to Mexico with a dude who owns a restaurant here, actually. His name's Adrian. He owns Corazon de Mexico in Fort O.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, he let me stay at his dad's house, everything. Like, I'm like, his sisters were there, like their fiance, their husbands. Like, I'm in their personal house, sleeping, chilling, like,
Great culture, huh?
bro, freaking. We went to Tequila, Mexico, where The Rock makes what was it? Tarvana?
Terramana.
Terramana. Carvana. This is a paid sponsorship. Like Carvana.
Carvana and Terramana.
So The Rock, if you ever watch this video, get my dog right. So we go like see where all that's being made. Like it's where all the agave plants are. I go tour all that. I go to Mexico City. I'm like staying at his sister's friend's apartment. And I'm like, man, my life is so crazy out here. And I'm like, I want to go back to Hawaii. So I go back out to Hawaii. And that got cut short. I lost one of my close friends. He passed away, so I had to come back, go to the funeral, and I was like, I can't stay here again. I was like, I can't. That's when my brother comes to me. He's like, hey, do you want to get business together, blah, blah, blah. I was like, not yet. Like, my mind ain't right yet. I think I'm just turning the page right now. Like, I think I'm right there. I go back out to India. 7 days of being in India, COVID hits.
So you started in 2018, and this is, I guess, March 2020?
March 2020.
All right.
March 2020, I think that I'm fine. And rumors started happening. Something crazy's happening. We're not sure what it is. They issue like a statement. They're like, yo, if you want to get out of the country, leave. And I'm like, man, this is going to last like a week or two, bro. I ain't worried about it. This is 2020. Like, we're good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we got all kinds of technology. And now to think back 2 years ago, it's like, bro, what were we doing? Yeah. But truly, think about this. I'm like, oh, this will be done in a week. Bam. I'm stuck there. It's a weekend. And I'm like, okay, what's the deal? I'm at a hotel. The guy's letting me stay for free. And I'm like, he's like, bro, I got to shut this hotel down. Like, everything's shutting down over there. Like, closing. Like, lights are going off. We can't afford this. And I'm like, okay. And you can't go outside. That was a kicker. You couldn't leave. You couldn't go walk around. So I'm sitting there and I'm going, okay, what do I do? So I started reaching out to some guys. They were fans. I was at a studio recording session over there. I was making music. So, like, I got songs on Spotify, rap and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so I was like, I was in there making music. And my sound engineer was like, yo, my buddies are huge fans of you. They have a band and stuff. They just want to meet you. And I'm like, all right, cool. They come over right before all this COVID pops off over there. I met these guys. We made a music video. We made a dope song. It went a little viral and everything. Like 250,000 views or whatever. And I'm like, okay, like, that's cool. We got real cool for a couple days. Then I'm like, hey, man, I sent the group text. I'm like, does any of y'all have a place I can stay? I just need one room. Like, I'll be out the way. This one family, my boy Zubin and his family, literally took their family out of the house that they had in the city, went to where, like, they had another house out in the outskirts somewhere in the country, gave me that house. So I'm by myself for, I think it was like 57 days straight. And I couldn't leave that premises for 57 days straight,
Legit
bro.
quarantine.
Oh, like, you are there. Bro, I was sweeping, moving banana plants around, like, cleaning the yard, doing curls with rocks, like, watching Netflix till daggum 4 in the morning, waking up at 1. Like, I didn't know what to do.
What was the content you were putting out then?
I'm like,
introspective type stuff?
Eating food, okay, mindset. And then you're like, okay, cleaning up outside, you know, and I mean, you name it right and stuff like that, you know. That all came with, now I'm like, man, it's day like 14. What else can I really post? You know, and you're trying to keep up because, like, my TikTok's booming at this point. I think I was like at 600K followers or something.
Mm-hmm.
My YouTube's at like 250 probably at that point, or 300 or something like that. And then you're like, but I'm stuck in a house. What do I do? Well, that gave me time to really, like, process through life of, like, what do I do with life instead of, like, what do I do with social media? Because it's easy to get lost in that sauce, man. Once you get the following and the people, and now there's this expectation that you started it, so you got to really, like, give love to the folks that are allowing you this platform to make money and do all these different things and to be able to travel, not just be like, screw you, like, I don't feel like it today, because they're allowing you to have that opportunity. People would do all kinds of stuff for these opportunities. So at this point, they need the house back. It's like 57 days in, they need the house back. Start calling around. One of my really wealthy buddies, very great guy, he was sending me food there every 3 to 4 days with a delivery service on a moped. So they would bring me, his dad owns a college, so they would make food at the college, send me food every 3 to 4 days. So that's how I stayed nourished and everything like that. So, and it's not that I was dependent on him. I had no other options. I couldn't leave. I couldn't go out and about.
So what would you have done if you didn't know anybody?
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
That's crazy.
That's a question I'm glad I don't know the answer to, because like I wasn't scared, but I was
No,
10,000
man. 57 days.
I was 10,000 miles away from home. Service sucked, and you're like, man, I'm glad I can reach out to this guy, and he sends me food. His name's Nestle. He's the one who invited me to go on the Lambo trip and everything like that.
Gotcha.
It was crazy, and eventually you're like, man, I gotta get home. We're fine. We're the only thing we're doing is called repatriation flights, which were like government flights chartered out of the country. They were only going out of Delhi, which was North India. I was in the South. He knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody for Air India, which was the only airline that was doing these repatriation flights. He's like, bro, they're all booked. Like, nothing is available. Now these people are like, yo, we need the house back. No offense. Like, see what you can find. So I find one of Nestle's cousins is like, yo, this one guy lives in Canada. He has a house over here still. It's empty. There's nothing in it. There's a cot. I sleep on the floor. And the guy texts me. He's like, someone canceled a flight to Paris. Do you want it? Paris was one of the few countries that was allowing people from the U.S. to transit.
Right.
Bro, $4,000
For the flight?
for the flight. I didn't care. $3,000, because then $1,000 from Paris to chat. $3,000. I was like, I don't care. Get it right now. I call another guy. I'm like, I got to get to this airport that's 6 hours away in the south that'll take me to Delhi. They get their neighbor who had no job, give him the car, and say, take him down there. I pay this guy like 2,000 rupees, like $20. He's like, no, it's way too much. He wanted like $5 in USD. I'm like, take it. I don't care. Take my Indian rupees. Like,
right.
You just got me to the airport. I'm good. And he got me to the airport like 6 hours away. But I'm not in the clear yet. I'm like, I got to get from this airport to this airport. By the grace of God, I flew up there, got to Delhi, got me like one of those. I had a ton of like ton of Indian money still. And so I got me one of those like in airport hotel things, because for like the last 2 to 3 days, I hadn't showered. I was tired as crap.
Right.
Like, I'm exhausted mentally. I'm hoping I can get on this flight, because they're like, well, we need more proof that you have the flight from Paris to the States, blah, 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 because then if you get to Paris and you don't have the next flight, they'll send you back here. And I'm like, bruh, like, please let me on this flight. I just need to get out of your country. Like, I need to get out of this country. That's it.
Right.
And I can get home. Don't worry. Because the U.S. passport is heavy, like, around the world.
Right.
I get to Paris and basically spend the night on the floor, just chilling, whatever, on my phone. And then the next day, I arrive in Atlanta, Georgia. And it's crazy, though, because those 57 days, while I was there, felt so heavy. But it gave me so much time. Like, my yin and yang kind of came together, where I was like, I was always grateful for life, but, like, I really became in touch with, like I love going to the water. I love feeling, like, the air. I love, like, that's what India did to me. It brought out this, like, not spiritual, but just very, like, in touch with what's going on.
Nature.
Yeah, like, it made me become in touch with everything in the world that's actually happening, and not just going, like, oh, I'm breathing right now. Like, I think about stuff like that. I'm like, it's crazy. I can breathe through my lungs and be alive. Like, those are the type of thoughts. I became super, like, woke, I guess you can call it that. I don't know if that's the right word. But, and then I get back and I'm like, oh, I'm in America now. And my family's doing the same thing they were doing. And I'm like, man, like, but I was out there, like, struggling, like, mentally. Like, I was fine because the dude was sending me food. Everything was good. But eventually, I'm like, man, I'm here now. COVID's a real thing. Like, I can't go to places. Countries aren't allowing people. What do I do? And I'm like, I got to get into something here. So then that's when, like, I got into everything with my brother. Now we have 3 Scooters Coffees. There's going to be a 4th one, hopefully this year as well. The 3rd one in Collegedale opening soon. And I mean, that's, going into 2021 last year, and then 2022, I'm like, let me start Niko's Property Show. I'm like, I'm going to build a house. I was going to have one of my other brothers do it. He was like, no, dude, I'm not about to get filmed all the time. He was like, I don't want to be on camera and stuff. He was
Right.
like, you build it, because I've been doing construction since I was a kid with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and in the state of Tennessee, or I know in Chattanooga, every 2 years a homeowner can build a house on a homeowner's permit. So I have them to call if they're like, if I have a question like, hey, what does this framing need to be or whatever. But for the most part, like, I can carry my own. I still got
Right.
a lot to learn. But now I'm 2 weeks out from having my first, like, me being the builder on the house done.
Right.
And so, and now this account, so like, let me tell you, so Back to Life, all that, we've got, I think, like 330 on YouTube. Instagram, I got like almost 150. TikTok has like 750K. This is 100,000. So 750,000, 350,000.
And it's all titled Back to Life.
That's all back to the number 2 life. And then Niko's property show right now, TikTok, I think, is like 850,000 followers. YouTube has hit 140,000 followers. And then I just hit like 20,000 followers on Instagram. So it's just I love the grind. I love the process. I love to like figure things out. I love to just keep on growing. And with content, like, you got to keep using your mind, man. I love it. Like, and I'm out, like, today, bro, I was freaking digging under a sidewalk, trying to push a 2-inch conduit underneath so I could get water runoff.
Right.
And I was getting so frustrated. I'm like, you're blessed. Like, you're good. Sorry for banging on the table, but like, you're good, man. Just keep on banging away. Get the blister and you'll be fine in a week. Like, but that's just what drives me. Like, the idea of consistency and discipline.
Sure.
Like,
which is why you're here, right?
That's literally, I told him before we started this, I said, I'm literally here because you're consistent. And I told him I'm telling y'all, when y'all watch this video, just wait, give him a couple months. It's going to be like 30, 40, 50,000 subscribers. I believe it, but you got to believe it.
I believe crazy things, man.
It's
crazy things.
Dude, if you're consistent and you start using TikTok, that's the way to do it, man.
So I guess I'm on TikTok.
Yeah. Go follow him on TikTok. What's going to be the TikTok name?
Depending, it'll probably be Gunner Miller, the L's being ones.
Okay.
Most likely. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
Think about it. I will tell you this. This is my rule of thumb. Everything has to be simple. Everything has to be the same. So if I searched for that, that'd be hard to search for.
Okay.
But if I searched for 2 L's, because I would know that the search box will allow your name to pop up. You see what I'm saying? So now you got to play smart too. So before you drop this, make sure you go get all the names and everything. Because there's people out there that will go get your
names.
Gunner Miller TikTok and be like, yeah, pay me $1,000 or 10,000, depending on if it's Facebook, they'll pay you $64 million. So
right, yeah,
that works out too.
Yeah.
So basically, like, keep it as simple as possible. Instagram needs to be the same thing as the TikTok. The TikTok needs to be the same thing as the Facebook page. Facebook same as Twitter, because now I can search you on all different platforms and it's that easy.
Right.
So I don't know. Social media to me is like, it gets me fired up. I love it. It's a game. Like, it's like playing football. You gotta grind for it. You gotta be consistent. You gotta be disciplined. You gotta post. You gotta come up with content. You gotta be creative. Like, it, instead of doing it physically, now you're doing it mentally.
Right.
And that's why I love what social media is for me, because it keeps me growing 24/7. Like, if you become stagnant, you'll become forgotten.
Sure.
Like, that's just facts, and that's anything in life.
Yeah.
If you become
stop growing, you
stagnant,
die.
yeah. If you become stagnant, you become forgotten. I wrote a book, actually. I wrote 2 books. One's called Failure Breeds Success, and one's called Stop Beating Yourself Up. They're both on Amazon. One thing I always say, like, I wrote a little quote in there. It's like, if you want to grow, you got to go. And I use that for everything in my life. And it's so simple, and you're like, oh, yeah, I could have said that to myself. Like, but I keep that, like, inked in my like, in my mind, bro. Like, if you want to grow, you got to go. Like, frustrated today, right? Keep swinging, man.
Yeah.
Don't want to wake up to go to the gym. Wake up 15 minutes earlier. It ain't going to do nothing to you. Like, you'll be fine. Go to sleep 15 minutes earlier.
Right.
Don't want to eat healthy. Eat the healthy meal, man. Like, keep swinging. Keep striking. Like, I had a coach at Charleston Southern University. His motto was strike the stone. And it was like the idea of the dude striking to get to the diamond.
Sure.
And he gives up one hit away.
Right.
That can be a scholarship. That can be a business. That could be the next video going viral. That could be a podcast going viral. Like, just keep on striking. That's my biggest thing. Social
media is crazy, and I think so many people are like, I don't want to do social media because I want to get caught up in the deal. And I, with wrestling. So when I first started doing it, I was big into it. The whole People's Captain deal, 4-2-3 to WWE, have my tryout, like all that stuff. And what I didn't realize is that it was catching on.
Right.
And then I got hurt, and then I just stopped. You know, like I wished I kicked myself all the time looking back at like my Twitter that I deleted,
Yeah.
my Instagram that I deleted, like all that stuff just drives me crazy. So then all that happened, and I kind of like got away from all of it, and I like started over. So,
Oh man.
you know, like, dude,
which is okay
it
though.
frustrates me.
But it's okay because you got to think like this. The people that were following that Gunner, I'll be like, this is people, man. That's why I have so many different accounts, because I was trying to like convolute everything on Back to Life, and now I'm like helping build my dad's house, and then I was going to build my house, and then I'm like in India eating food, and then I'm in Dubai, then I'm in Ukraine, and then I was in Greece, and it's like, bro, I don't know what you do. And people are so simple. I was telling, like, before we started filming, people are so simple. When you complicate it, they're actually, they step away from you. Like, they're like, it's too much. He's doing too much. Who does he think he is?
Right.
Bro, I used to get messages from people like, bro, who do you think you are? Like, I thought you were super cool in college, man. Now you're just, I'm like, bro, I'm chill. I'm living my best life out here. What are you worried about? If I bother you, unfollow me.
Right.
Like, what does my lifestyle have to do with how you feel?
Sure.
And I really don't know you. Like, you knew me from the outside looking in. Like, and I don't say that with pride. Like, literally, we didn't even know each other.
Right.
We had the same friend group, and we said what's up when we saw each other. But you're taking time out of your day to message like negativity and like, who do you think you are? Blah blah. And you're like, are you really that jealous? Like, so to spin that back to what I was telling you is like, when you give people too much, they're like, this is too much. He's too much. You give them a certain version of you on this TikTok, because that's what they're there for. When the video pops up and they want to watch your podcast, they really don't want to see you wrestling. As dumb as that sounds, that's the truth. TikTok is such a niche platform. Boy, I need some water. I'm gonna be honest. I'm about to start crying.
You did a lot of talking.
Yeah, that was like an hour of talking. My man's gonna get me one.
There we go.
So TikTok is such a niche platform that, like, if you try to step away from what you're actually doing, the algorithm hits you hard, man.
Talk to me about that, the algorithm, because I do go to the YouTube videos. I'm like, how do I become something, right? So like, what is the algorithm? And everybody has their own idea of it.
So with TikTok, this is the best way I've understood it, and this is my like interpretation.
Sure.
Because you don't know.
Yeah, nobody knows.
You don't know. The people working at corporate TikTok, I guess, know, but that's the only people that know. Thank you so much. Well, I was over here about to start crying because I was so honored to be on the podcast. Oh my gosh, that is so refreshing. Thank you kindly, man. So this is how I interpret the algorithm. It wants a lot. Quality is good in life, but honestly, the algorithm doesn't care. It needs to be enough quality to keep you engaged for a certain amount of time, but when there's so much of it, when you just give people constant content, all of a sudden, you got to get entertained somehow. I mean, you're not sitting there at the gym for 24 hours a day or at work, right? So once you get off, what do? Click on your phone, respond to your old lady, respond to whoever, your friends. But then Instagram, TikTok, you're on it.
Sure.
Checking analytics on YouTube. Like, that's a part of your life. Mm-hmm. So what I realized, I was like, I'm going to make my life a part of their life in just abundance. So I was like, not only am I going to do it on Instagram, I'm going to do it on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Twitter is my least where I focus. I need to focus more on that, but I'm working on it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, but how do you do that? Well, like I told you earlier, one video, you might never come across it. But all of a sudden, man, I got people that comment on my stuff. I had a guy yesterday who did work on my house. He works for a company that did work. Some banker reaches out to him and says, yo, you guys are in this video. I don't know who this guy is. He don't know who I am, but he's like, he knows that company. So all of a sudden, it's like, dude, I'm watching this guy now because I knew that company. And this dude's like, yo, this guy just reached out to me saying he found your videos and he doesn't even know you.
Right.
But he started watching because our company name was on it. So you see what I'm saying? Like, I made a connection because that's what I always try to do. I try to always plug as much as possible, because if I plug you, 3 or 5 people that you know might be like, man, this guy's kind of cool.
Sure.
why not? You know, why not lend a helping hand? So every time that you're like, let's say you're, you know, with whoever, you tag the guy, and then all of a sudden he reposts to his story or vice versa. Now it's like, oh, now the same friend group is kind of like, dude, oh, this is awesome. These guys are together. Well, then they might repost, and now you just caught 2 or 3 people out of a Nashville that don't even know you,
Right.
but are friends with this guy because they had a class with him or something.
Sure.
They're like, man, this guy's kind of interesting. Why don't I just start following him too? And all of a sudden, 3 turns to 5, 5 turns to 10. Now you compound effect that. Now you're going, oh, 100 followers a day. This is crazy. 200 followers a day, 1,000 followers a day. Now all of a sudden it's boom. So I think volume when it comes to content is the most important thing. Do you listen to Gary Vee?
Yeah.
Gary Vee is a genius at it. I'm like the clean version of Gary Vee. Like he does all the swearing and everything.
Right.
I'm the clean version of him. So I mentor people and everything. I'm just not on his scale, obviously, but
Sure.
I love his philosophy. I love what he stands for. I love his kindness, empathy, like love. Just be good to people, and it works. Be thankful. Like
Empathetic leadership.
bro, if you follow that model, but you got to be genuine about it. It's not a system. It's a real thing. Like that's where I think people get it twisted. It's not a system that you're trying to play. That's not a game. If you're truly empathetic, if you're truly kind, and you're truly thankful, all of a sudden, like, bro, I started this thing when I was in India called my thankful time. Now I do a thankful walk. Like I go to the park and I literally walk for like 20 minutes. And I don't typically talk about like my faith and everything like that and everything, but I just thank God for 20 to 30 minutes straight, bro. Like for everything, the air, the wind, the birds, the bees, the trees, like every opportunity, whether it's like mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. And bro, I tell you, whatever you believe in this world, I don't care what someone believes in. If they shift their mindset to being thankful for what they have, what's to come is crazy. Like imagine being okay with this water from Dagum Kirkland sponsor this podcast right
That's
now.
right.
So imagine being thankful for this water, but then when someone brings you like the Fiji, you're like, whoa, the Fiji water, that's like $7, dude.
Right.
But this one, I got to be grateful for this one first, because when you give me that $7 one, it ain't going to mean nothing.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that took that was so important to my social media growth, because people are like, oh, if I don't post and it doesn't get 100,000 views, like it's not important. Bro, 1 view means you reached 1 life. Like that's how important it is.
I take that. So people will give me a hard time sometimes, like, dude, why are you still doing this podcast? Like, why are you still doing it?
Shut
man?
up.
But
Not
it's like,
you, them.
And it's like, well, listen, man. Well, first of all, I said I'm gonna do this thing every Thursday,
Run it.
and I got a guy over here that shows up and gives me his time every Thursday because he's all in too.
Big shout out.
And we just have this weird feeling that eventually it's going to take off. Like,
It
if you look
will.
at Rogan, I mean, Rogan did what, 500 episodes to 1,000 people until biggest podcast in the world?
Biggest podcast in the world. Logan Paul says he's the biggest podcast in the world, so you might have to argue with him. But see, we're name dropping, so now you might pop up on some of their videos. So
Is that how that works?
That works, brother. It's the algorithm.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you give me a Logan Paul vibe. Am I hurting your feelings when
Bro,
I say
no,
that?
you know what's crazy? On my videos, people literally will be like, "Is this Logan Paul 2.0?" Like, I don't know why. I think I had long hair. I kind of looked like him. We looked like each other. We're around the same
Right.
age. We're both kind of wild. I'm not as wild as him, but
That's the vibe, though, that came off like watching some of your videos.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Logan.
I like the guy.
I like
Yeah.
Logan's stuff. I
Yeah.
watch this podcast. I listen to stuff. I mean, I'm even a fan of Jake right now,
Yeah.
boxing. I mean,
Hey,
you can't hate.
He's an entertainer. He
You
knows
can't
what he's
hate.
doing, and he's a pretty good darn athlete. Like,
Both those guys are good
yeah,
athletes.
dude. Like, if they would have stuck into college and done all that stuff, bro.
They just found Vine.
Yeah, come
And
on,
in
man.
6
And made
seconds
a
they
ton of-
became-
and made
yeah.
a ton of money. Like, I can't blame the guys. You know, why were you trying to get to the NFL? Make a bunch of bread. Like, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? It's the love
Yep.
of the game, but at the end of the day, when you tear your ACL,
Well, think about this, though. So business and entrepreneurs and influencers, that's the new athlete.
facts. That is true.
That's the new athlete because now you can see them. And the scorecard is the followers and the views and the money. Like,
Right.
that's the new athlete.
And I want to touch on that because you said that the people would hate on you. Like, why are you still doing this podcast? Bro, there's going to be a shift and I want you to prepare mentally for this. There's going to be a shift when you go from 2,000 subscribers to 10,000 and then 20,000 and then 50,000, then 100,000. And the person that said that to you is going to go, man, dude, I love your podcast.
Can I go on your show?
Literally, can I go on your show? And I love your podcast, dude. I'm glad you stuck with it. Thinking you forgot what they said to you. You will never forget.
Oh, no.
You will never forget who said that to you, when they said it to you, and how they meant it. Because they meant it how they meant it. And they'll try to convince you otherwise. But that moment is a moment when you go, that's why I stayed consistent. And that's why I posted a podcast on Thursdays, and why we put time into this, and why this is going to be great, because it's not about you at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you're talking about, yeah, I guess someone could say, oh, it's a podcast. You're talking about what you want to talk about. But what people don't understand is that when you're entertaining somebody and you got common sense, one, and you're empathetic, two, bro, you don't know what those people are going through on the other side of that phone or tablet or TV screen.
Sure.
Like, I have messages from people that say, dude, you literally kept me, and I don't take this lightly, from committing suicide. I got goosebumps. Like, people have written me texts that they know will never get deleted, saying, you saved me from committing suicide by your videos and your energy. And I'm like, man, I'm glad to hear that. Like,
Right.
If you need to talk more, please let me know. Like, I'll be here for you, everything. But to know you have that type of impact, bro, it just might be how you introduce the podcast. Like, that might get somebody just
Sure.
like, man, I needed that energy today. You know, like, all right, I hope y'all have a great day, man. This has been a good one.
Right.
I love all y'all out there. Somebody ain't getting told that that someone loves them.
Sure.
They might only hear it from you. That's how important social media is. But that's what I view it as. I don't view it as this catalyst to fame, or this catalyst to money necessarily. It comes with it. But what's the point of being famous if you ain't doing something with it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Use the
That'll
platform for good.
it'll die away, man. Like I said, like, we know each other and everything like that, but from your posts and everything, like, us not being like personal with each other, I can see you got good morals. You ain't posting crazy stuff like where it could damage somebody or influence them to do something really stupid. Like Joe Rogan, you know how many people he's probably helped through their life to maybe start a business, maybe do something outrageous that family was like, dude, you're dumb, don't ever do that, bro. Maybe it's you doing this podcast.
He's the reason we did this podcast.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Like, but imagine how many people you're going to inspire now, because someone's going, man, 105 episodes and 2,000 subscribers. Oh, this is going to take time. I can do it too. Like that's how important this is. It's not just a podcast. It's not just Back to Life videos. It's not just Niko's property show. It's not me just building a house. It's, man, your energy gives me hope. Your kindness to your employees, your kindness to your guests, like, you're literally showing somebody how to be the example of what we talk about, empathetic. Empathetic leadership.
Yep.
Like, you could come on here and be a douchebag and be a tool bag, and like, but what's the point?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's times you joke around, like,
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
the gym bros, like, it's just how it is. Like, I used to do curls every single day. Like, I know what it is to be a tool bag.
Right.
But if you got a good heart behind everything you do, like, I don't want to say, no, I do. I promise you, like, success is inevitable. Like, especially you got a team going on right here. I do it all by myself, which is tough because paying somebody, like, I got a guy right now who does a little bit of editing for me. Oh, I got a guy in India who does a lot of editing for me, and I got a guy here in the States who does it for me too. He films and edits for me here. But, like, that costs money.
Yeah.
So you got to think, like, I'm trying to make money, then I'm trying to pour into it, but you're building a business at this point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So y'all got what y'all got going on, however that looks, but if you stay consistent and you stay relevant, man, the sky's the limit, bro. Like, I firmly believe that. I wouldn't just say this because I'm on a podcast. Like, if I see consistency, that tells me you're disciplined, and that tells me you're going to win.
That's that athlete mindset,
That's
man.
it.
That's all we ever know, right? I love athletes, and if you stick to it, you'll find. I ain't saying it'll be the best, but it'll be something, you know.
I don't see why you ain't gonna be the best.
It'll be something.
You got the voice. You got the look. You got the team right now. So at the end of the day,
hype me up. Don't hype me up,
I know what it feels like to get hyped up, so that's why I'm doing the hyping.
Hey, well, listen, man.
Hold on, don't cut it off yet.
I
want to ask a question.
Oh.
Okay. You said Joe Rogan, because that's what I heard. You said Joe Rogan kind of inspired this.
Yeah.
What brought y'all two together? Is there a camera on you? No? Dang it.
So, great story. So I did the pro wrestling out of college, right? And I don't know how much you know, but anyway, so the guys that run the studio, Sting Weber is one of them.
Okay.
Comes from radio around town. Him and Chris kind of started all this. He's a big wrestling fan. So one of my shows, he was actually a part of it as the radio guy or whatever. So he reached out and he goes, "Hey man, you're injured. Would you like to come on the show and do a podcast called the 60-Minute Broadway?" And I go, "All right, well, I guess. I mean, we'll do a Facebook show or whatever." And he's like, "Cool." So we do the 60-Minute Broadway. We come on, and then he got a little busy, but it was going to be live streamed on Thursdays at 8 p.m. every Thursday. So I'm consistent, right? So we go, I don't know, how many episodes, Ethan? 30, 40 episodes in? And we knocked that bad boy out. And then Sting gets a little busy. So I'm like, I'm going to keep doing it. So we kept doing it, and then it kind of turned into like more of my life along with wrestling. Right. I was like, dude, I got more stuff to talk about than wrestling.
Right.
Like, I love to work out. I've got all this knowledge about fitness and dieting that, like, people just don't have the time to do just because I'm a nerd like that. And I like, sports betting and sports and college. I have all this stuff that I can kind of talk about. So I was like, let's just start a podcast. And he was like, all right, cool, let's just start a podcast. Because he was kind of doing the behind the scenes of 60-Minute Broadway. And I was like,
I got you.
And I was like, I don't know how to start it, but let's just do it. Let's keep doing it on Thursdays.
You're like, I can talk.
And we'll call it Chat with Gunner. CHATT with Gunner.
Go ahead on.
And I was like, we'll try to get people from Chattanooga to come in.
Yeah.
Here, like kind of like Rogan. He was like, all right, cool. So like, we don't really know each other at this point. Like we're like pass and go, like weird kind of feelings. Dude, we're almost 3 years into this thing now, and like that's one of my boys.
Yeah, I like that.
Like, that's one of my dudes. I've promised him something. I was like, dude, we're going to make it, and I promise you, I got you.
Yeah,
like
it's
we're going to
coming,
make it,
man.
So whether that's logistics, whether that's whatever it is,
right.
like. I got it.
Now, do y'all work together outside of this at all?
Nope.
So this is
I show up here on Thursday. Like if I post something, he has access to every one of my accounts. So if I post something and like I don't know what I'm doing, so I'll post it. He'll go back in, back edit it,
right,
fix it up, make it clean or whatever. So
man, Tate, listen, get the TikTok account going, man. Literally, I think. Chat with Gunner. I mean, like that sounds like a TikTok podcast. Like that's dope. Like that literally sounds dope. Like you get the picture on there, however you got it, just keep it consistent all the way across and literally crop it the right way. You get the captions on it, man.
So let me ask you. So it was Chat with Gunner, and it kind of went like to CWG podcast. What would you go with?
Chat with Gunner.
Chat with Gunner.
CWG podcast sounds like. All right, y'all. CWG podcast. We got the weather. You know what I'm saying? Like
okay. Yeah,
and that's not
no. I need that. No, I need
Chat
that.
with Gunner sounds like what's Joe Rogan's podcast called?
The Joe Rogan Experience.
You see what I'm saying? Like, podcasts are personal. Radio stations are J103, Power 94.
Sure.
It's a number and letter. It's something that has meaning.
Yep.
But a podcast is a personal experience with a person.
Gotcha.
Who is the voice behind it? It's Gunner. I want to know what we're doing. We're chatting with a Gunner. Like we're gonna talk about this. What are we going to talk about? We talk about everything. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, that's how you play it.
So, I'll say this. So, when you go to search it on YouTube,
okay.
If you type in CHATT with Gunner, it won't pull up anything. If you pull up CWG podcast, it pulls up every single thing.
Every single one. Dang, that hurts.
So, that's why I did it like that. Because
did you change it?
We did change it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, people would hit me up and be like, dude, I can't find it. I was like, it's Chat with Gunner. It's easy. I would go do it and it'd pull up like one episode.
That's because it's in your phone too.
Now you do CWG podcast. Anybody can pull it up. It's every one of them.
Yeah, unless now what you could do is you start branding that. So if you already know it's getting searched quicker and easier and it's popping up faster, all of a sudden what you can just do is say like every time you intro, hey, this is Chat with Gunner. You see what I'm saying? Like
yeah, we still do that.
So. But like all platforms, like you need to brand that, like on TikTok.
Gotcha.
So when he does not steal, but like when he takes the footage from whatever this is to that, like make sure that that's what's getting branded, because it's gonna say, let's say the name of the account is like CWG podcast, which sounds great. I mean, it's 3 letters in a podcast, right?
Sure.
But people need to know what CWG is constantly. Like,
gotcha.
Niko's property show is Niko. It's Niko. And then there's a property show behind that person.
Right.
back to life, most people know me like as Niko TJR because I connected that Instagram thing to it.
Gotcha.
Now I'm Niko on there. Like they know this is the person, but this is the account. So like it's got to be so personal. Like I just asked you what's Joe Rogan's podcast name. I wouldn't know his podcast name, but I know who Joe Rogan is, and I know he
Right.
has a podcast.
Sure.
It's all about the person. It's the human connection. That's why this stuff got so popular and big, is because all of a sudden you're not too far away from me.
Right.
Like I can reach you for free on YouTube, but waiting a whole week for a new show on
Sure.
TV for whatever that is, like that's kind of tough.
Right.
So basically, personalize it as much as possible, especially TikTok, and the right music in the background. Oh man,
Like the trends, I'm assuming.
yes, you find the
Whatever
viral
the top
music,
one. Yeah.
you turn it down to about it's through 100, turn it down to about 7, where it's just back there, and it's making the noise of what the popular song is. That's how you catch people. Yeah, that's how you catch them. If you grasp their attention, you keep them on there. I'm gonna give you another little secret. TikTok might not like this one, but you make another account, okay, that has nothing to do with that account. When you post on, let's say, the Chat with Gunner TikTok, you go over to the other account, then you send the video to someone else, to yourself, to your mom, your dad, to everybody you know, but not from the account that you posted it on.
From another account.
From another account, you watch it fully through. Make sure you watch it fully through the algorithm there. Now you're sending it to 10 people from a random account. Man, this video is interesting. More people need to see it because it just got 10 shares and he just posted it. This is crazy.
Right.
That's what TikTok's thinking. They're not going, oh my gosh, it's the same person. Because if you're sending it from yourself, you're not getting, I mean, the shares are there, but that doesn't mean it's interesting. You're just the person who posted the content, so you're sharing it.
Sure.
So always go to a different account. Share, like, whatever, comment. Now all of a sudden, you're helping that video grow. That's a little secret for people out there trying to start TikTok. There's a lot of little tricks, man.
So, accidentally, I did that on YouTube.
Okay.
So I was doing it. I would do the Chat with Gunner, but then I had my own, like my wrestling
Yep.
Gunner Miller just channel. It would everything I'd go through, like, comment, share, everything would go through that because that's my main YouTube account.
Yeah. That helps. Like 110%. It just shows YouTube like another person's watching.
Funny
and they're
story is,
interested.
I actually saw you do that on your YouTube channel because I was
Yeah.
going back through and looking. I was like, because one day I was like, how does he get all these subscribers? And I saw you doing that, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'll try that out.
It works, man. And it takes time. Like, I get it. You got a life. You got to take care of, situate like family and everything like
Yeah.
that. You got a job. Like, you just gotta keep on keeping on. Like, it will work out. Y'all will be successful as long as you stay consistent, because the other 100,000 people that started a podcast in the past 6 months, they quit.
So would you say best case scenario, 7 podcasts pulling out 7 days a week?
That's tough.
I'm just saying, but in a perfect world, like 365 podcasts in a year?
For me, YouTube is a weird situation, right? I think YouTube doesn't like too much. I think YouTube likes a little bit more quality. TikTok now, straight up quantity over quality.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of people on YouTube, like people I follow, will say like, yeah, YouTube hates you if you post every day, but post it on TikTok,
Oh my gosh,
you're good. Yeah,
dude.
100%.
Like, and because YouTube is more of retention. So if you ever look into your analytics and everything like that, it's all about retention. So it's how long did you stay on the video? How long were you able to keep them engaged? And so if people are like, I can listen to this tomorrow, they click on it for 10 minutes, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. Like, you're looking at something where for me to sit down and watch something for an hour, definitely ain't happening. You might catch me for about 12 minutes maybe, because I'm busy too. Like, everybody in the world is out here doing crazy things. They got life going on. They got work going on. They're not really wanting to sit down for 20 minutes. But all of a sudden, I'm on TikTok. I can swipe up and watch that for 30 seconds all day long. And then all of a sudden, 2 hours later, I'm still on TikTok, but it didn't feel like you had me for a full 2 hours.
I got you.
So that's my biggest thing, is like, try not to go overboard on the YouTube. Create more quality content.
Pull the content from YouTube
Exactly.
to TikTok.
Because you're already doing it. So from this video today, he could probably pull 20 short clips. No one knows, like, but then you could kind of sprinkle them in. So go episode 1, then go to episode 105, then go to episode 77, then episode 33. It's all different random stuff. So then you just got the right crop for it. You got some captions on it. Captions are major game changer, bro. Like captions are huge. Or just kind of a title, but constantly there, so that your eyes are what keeps you kind of engaged.
I've seen that.
Like that's huge, man.
Grabs my attention. I'm like sells.
If I don't see words, I don't want to see the stupid video.
There's a guy named Alex Hormozy
Mm.
He's on YouTube and TikTok, but he just got on like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And is blown up.
Yep.
And it's all like he built a business, spent like the whole front half of his life building a business, and he's like, now I just got to do social media. And he's been killing it.
Yeah. If you follow, I mean, like I said, I always tell people, like, don't reinvent the wheel. You don't have to. Somebody already did it. Why are you trying to, like, it's great to start a new trend or something, right? But like, this is what works. Don't think what you're going to do is so much better. It's like, you want to go to space too? Well, Elon Musk is figuring it out. Like, you can only figure out so much more than the next guy.
Right.
Like
NASA set the blueprint.
Yeah,
He's
like,
just doing it better.
He's just a little bit of tweaks here and there. Like, same thing with social media. You're sitting there. Don't try to outdo somebody. Just do it differently. Do it with more quality. Do it with more quantity. Like, just do it the way that is going viral. These are trends for a reason. It's not made up.
Yeah.
Like, TikTok likes what it likes for a reason, and every social platform is different. Don't try to play TikTok on Instagram, and don't try to play Instagram on TikTok, and don't try to play YouTube on TikTok. Like, you learn the game, and eventually it'll be second nature. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, I see why he posted that video. Oh, okay, I see why he did that one on there. You have to tweak a little bit. Maybe a song's going viral on Instagram that's not on TikTok. Little things matter like that. So all of a sudden you play the game on all the different platforms, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because every platform's a different game. And you got to play the game, or else you will not grow on that platform.
All right, so I know we're kind of wrapping up, but I got questions.
Okay.
So it's like a mentoring session right now, because so I've been trying to get our company to like invest into digital marketing and stuff like that. So you're more organically built.
100%, yeah.
So what do you say to people that say like ads, put money into ads, put money into stuff like that? What do you say to that?
I'm not a big fan of ads unless they make, what's the best way to put this? So let's say with your company, right? There's only so much organic content you could kind of put out with, I mean, it's logistics. So
right.
Let's say you're trying to get new accounts. Is that,
well,
give me some context.
So really, you're not putting out, we don't sell a product. We
Right.
sell a service.
Right.
So you're not putting out content to grab a customer.
Okay.
You're putting out content to let the competition know what you're doing to get like talent that has more business.
Okay. Okay, so you're trying to pull in new people.
You're recruiting.
Right. Okay. I see what you're saying. Because everybody's an account manager at that point, right?
Yeah. So the game is not like, can I learn to know sales and go out and
Right.
sell? The game is, what are the loopholes behind the scenes, and who can I grab that has what already?
Right.
Because it's all relationships.
Like, he's good at it already. Let me get him in our
Let's
company.
get him in. But how do we get him? We don't need to pay him too much. Is our commission
Right.
commission structure good? Like, how's our culture? That type
Right.
of stuff.
See, at that point, I think what you could really benefit from is, let's say you have an Instagram account for that company. Now, all of a sudden, you need to get what they call the Gen Z, like a little bit younger than me, I guess, is an individual that thinks and walks that walks the talk and talks the walk, whatever that
Right.
quote is. Like, what is it that makes you happy at work? Okay, now let's get all these down. Let's write them down, right? But then create a video with what they wrote down in real life, and then use those as like Instagram Reels and the TikTok videos. Like, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, we get to wear, Hawaii shirts on Wednesdays. We get to have a company party every Friday for lunch, or like whatever it is, whatever.
Right.
I don't know what y'all do.
Sure.
And then you throw your commission quote thing on a whiteboard, and somebody throws a bunch of ones in the air. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to give what's on paper. This is how we get a person. This is what we pay them. But you got to show that.
Storytell it visually.
Everyone's visual now. Our freaking attention spans you can't even watch them for 3 seconds.
Right.
My brother said something to my nephew the other day. My nephew goes, we were eating at Chow's Mongolian Grill in Brainerd, and my nephew goes, Dad, I'm bored. Can I use your phone? And my brother goes, Levi, it's okay to be bored. Like, at this like, it blew my mind.
That's how Marcus says he's 6.
Yes. But at this point in our lives, it's almost like you're bad if you're bored.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being bored is like, no, what do you mean you're bored? Like, we got to be doing something. And I struggle with that too. Like, I'm like a busybody. I got to be doing something.
Right.
But it's okay to be bored. But we got to show people visually now, because it's almost not okay. Like, with this new generation, it's not okay. If you're from like, literally from like 4 to like 24, being bored is not cool.
Right.
Why are you not on TikTok? Why are you not on Instagram? Why are you not posting something? Like, you didn't take a picture of your food? Are you kidding me? Like, it's almost like offensive.
Right.
Like, the gram eats first, man. Phone eats first. Are you kidding me right now? You didn't even let me take a video. Like, you almost get into arguments with people at the table.
No, yeah.
So I think, like, from a business standpoint, if I was in that position, I would take a super organic approach to it, but with what's on paper. Create a story behind it. Very quick, man. I guarantee you got somebody in that office right now that probably has like 10,000 followers on TikTok that would be more than happy if you paid them like $250 for 2 weeks to create content in the office or something. Like, they're there anyway.
Right.
They're doing what they're doing anyway, and you throw them a little bone, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, heck yeah, I do TikTok anyway for fun. Now I'm going to do it for my company. And that's honestly, like, it's what it takes. It takes money. And then all of a sudden it's like, man, that's work culture. So cool. And about 15 of your employees are going to send that video to 15 people who are going to watch it. And then they might send it to someone and be like, dude, do you need a job? Look at this company. So all of a sudden now word of mouth is going, hey, you should go work here. They got great benefits. They got this. They got that. They got a great commission structure. Boom. Done.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. I'm going to start charging for these.
Makes sense. That was our free tip of the day.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Content.
So, you have a podcast?
I have a podcast, but it's not like a visual one. I actually have never posted on it. I have a guy who does that.
Okay.
He went through all of my content forever. It's just the Back to Life podcast, like Back to Number 2 podcast.
And pulled audios?
He pulled all the audio. I've honestly never posted on there. That's crazy. I didn't even create that account. He created it too. Yeah. So he's my cousin actually. Who's helped me film and edit right now. But he does that from like New York. So like if I'll record one for him, send it to him as an audio thing, and he just does it also. It's called Back to Life Podcast. I can even throw this up on like one of my channels. That'd be good if you guys give me the footage and everything.
Bring it. Yeah. So I mean, he does all this. It all goes up on YouTube. And then we usually post it out. Where's it go? What, Spotify, Apple Podcast? I
am way behind on Spotify, but
well,
it is
what it is. So there's last question as far as my content stuff. So they say when you're posting to a platform, it should be native to the platform. So like, say if you're posting TikTok, it should be vertical, and if you're posting Instagram, it should fit the thing, right?
Yep.
Or if like you're posting to LinkedIn, you shouldn't be posting a YouTube video to LinkedIn. You should just have a video pop up on LinkedIn. Is that kind of your strategy too, or is it more of like post in one area and then plug everywhere else? So
I definitely, like I was saying earlier, play the game where you're playing the game. So like TikTok for sure, you got to go vertical. I mean, you can do some of the you could say like the landscape videos, which are YouTube videos.
Right.
You can do those, but there's got to be something filling the top and the bottom.
Okay.
Because then it's not native, and TikTok understands that too.
Okay.
But all of a sudden you put captions on top, maybe some kind of little square at the bottom that says something. Oh, it is a vertical video. Because you got to think it's an algorithm running all this stuff. So it's not like a human going, okay, let's boost this one, you know?
Right.
The LinkedIn one, I'm going to be honest, I don't know the LinkedIn game. I literally have it just to be on there and to kind of like network, keep in touch. But definitely like Facebook videos are like very important to be like square or vertical. Now they got the reels. They're really competing. Facebook's huge, man. Like if you grow on Facebook, that's a big time winner, and like you can make some money on there, dude. Like this month, I got the past 3 months, which I didn't meet the threshold. Like I didn't get to that, but I've gotten where it says like you've been selected to be eligible to make $35,000 for the month for Instagram Reels. It's a bonus,
right?
So they've been hitting that quite a bit. It's hard to reach. Your videos got to go viral, and you got to get probably like 20 million views to get $35,000, but in 1 month, if your videos are like Joe Rogan, if he was posting on Facebook and to the reels and all that stuff, he's making 35 grand extra a month just on Facebook, and then on YouTube, and then on Spotify, and then on Apple, and then on TikTok. So the endless amount of funds is there. Instagram, same thing. I get bonus reels for Instagram all the time. Like, make $5,500 this month by posting reels. You got to post some dang videos now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 3 to 5 a day. Like, it's it's stressful. But once you reach that point, like, you can make some money, man. And companies come calling too. Like, it's a pretty cool situation in life to be able to do that, and to do it out of a studio, man.
Right.
Or, like for me, my house, or traveling. Like, like I said, people would give a lot to be in those positions, so I don't take it for granted. And I mean, you guys getting monetized, that's not easy.
Right.
That took what, 100 episodes, give or take.
What do you think, Ethan? It was so it had to be 1,000 subscribers and 10,000 hours. 4,000 hours watched in 12 months.
Yeah, it was
last
right
year?
around. I want to say it was right around 60 to 80 range. It was like a weird time.
Dude, I mean, that's a lot of episodes.
A lot of episodes, man. And that's not including the 60-minute Broadways we did prior to that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the year and a half.
And that's a lot of learning, too. Yeah.
So in total, we've done about 200 episodes. 200 Thursdays in a row, whatever that is.
Jeez. Have you honestly post every Thursday?
So, I mean, sometimes.
Or record at least.
Yeah, sometimes it comes out Friday morning, but yeah, usually it's Thursday, post up Thursday night. Like, after this, we'll take a picture.
Yeah.
We'll leave, and this will probably show up at like 12 o'clock.
That's a terrible time to post, by the way.
Okay, so
I would not post that at 12 at night.
Yeah.
So all that stuff matters. You really got to get.
I have no clue.
All right, let me hear
it. Okay.
Yeah, talk to him. This is you talking to him.
We're going to talk a little bit here.
So, okay. First of all, you need to go in and check. It's on your analytics. It tells you when all your people are very active.
Mm-hmm.
So where it says a lot of people are watching, or very many people are watching, you need to go about an hour or two before that, because what's happening is you got to give people time. When you post it, it's got to start popping up on their feed.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people are just scrolling, right? Yeah. Well, if you post it when they're not on, 10 hours went by, your videos didn't get any clicks. Now all of a sudden, YouTube's like, trash, gone. You see what I'm saying?
See, I just hit instant. Like it's basically midnight by the time I post it. I'm just like, instantly post.
Yeah, I used to be like that. I'm like, I gotta edit it. I gotta get it out. Oh,
right.
Feels so good.
It's done.
But look, there's a solution to that. You want to get it done, you edit it, and it says schedule, and you go schedule at 7 p.m. Like, you got to give people time, and then you need to. I don't know what your banner looks like. You need to put on there, when do you guys post? Is it Friday at 4? Because I don't freaking know. Like, I want to listen to your podcast. When the frick am I supposed to listen?
See, when we was doing the Facebook, you need to check out the 60-minute Broadway. Dude, we was at a certain point, like towards the end, and then when we stopped, it was stupid because we'd go live on Thursday at 8 p.m. Facebook. That's what we did.
Okay.
We went live 8 p.m. Every Thursday. We'd have a couple hundred live viewers and get up to 16 to 20,000 views on it in Facebook. And then we was like, we just kind of stopped doing it.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, like, you on your banner, on your YouTube banner, you guys got a YouTube banner, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so on your YouTube banner, like, come up with time. Give yourself space. Don't feel like you got to be rushed all the time. I used to feel that way.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, I got to edit, I got to post, No, you don't. Bro, people honestly don't care about us that much. Like, no. I'll be real with you.
Right.
Like, they got lives going on. So give yourself 24 hours. Maybe your day is Saturday. Maybe it's people waking up at 7 in the morning on a Saturday, or 8, kind of rolling out of bed. By 9 o'clock, they're probably going for a drive with the family, or maybe hitting the gym. They're like, let me turn on the pod. But you got to also create that schedule. You got to say, look, we post on Saturday at 8 a.m. every single Saturday, so that I know when I wake up on a Saturday, I can go watch your podcast on YouTube. And it says it on your banner. We put new video 8 p.m. Saturday, every Saturday. Like, you got to give people the expectation of what they're expecting.
Sure.
Because if you're like, well, it posted at 12 a.m. today. Well, dude, I never saw it pop up on my feed, so how would I even know? So I did kind of scroll through. You got 2,000 subscribers. The views
don't match,
right? Which is normal. I got plenty of those kind of videos. But then again, I go random too. I go AWOL and I'm like, Niko's property show? I post on Thursday at 1 p.m. and on Sunday at 10 a.m. And there's people who literally, like, if I don't post, like, within a minute of that time, because, like, today I was like, oh, crap, I forgot to get my thumbnail on there. 30 minutes late. There's people that will literally message you, like, no video today, bro? You're like,
Right.
jeez. But that's what you're creating. You're creating the routine of when it needs to be done. So, like, for you, Ethan, right, like, come up with a nice little schedule for yourself. Write it down.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I post on this, I edit till this, and involve yourself on the YouTube community tab right there. Like, hey, everybody, new episode coming up with our guest speaker, Niko. Okay, next one. Hey, everybody, new podcast dropping today or dropping on Thursday with our guest. It can't be Thursday. That's way too quick turnaround. So, new episode dropping on, I think,
Friday or
Sunday.
Saturday.
I think Sundays are a really good day for YouTube.
Really?
That's the best day for YouTube for me, yeah. When I post a video in the morning on YouTube on Sundays, they go crazy. Well, when I say crazy, like 10,000 views, stuff like that.
Sure.
So, but if you do research, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays are the hottest days for YouTube videos. Because Friday, what are you doing after work?
Who knows?
Probably kicking it with your girl, kicking it with the
YouTube.
fam. You're not on YouTube. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
You want me to listen to a podcast on a freaking Friday night?
Right.
Dude, I'm going out. I'm going to the restaurant with whoever.
Yep.
Like, it's time to relax. It's been stressful. So that right there in itself. Okay, Saturday. Oh, let's go to the park. Let's hang out. Okay, Sunday. I need to catch up on some motivation. We got a long week ahead.
That makes sense.
You see, so you got to think of, like, psychologically, how simple are you? What do you do? Apply that to what you guys do here. Same for you, Ethan. I don't know what you do outside of this, but you got to think, like, when is your quiet time? When is the time to relax and kind of get your brain back together? When do you listen to Joe Rogan? Probably not on a Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe during the day at work because you got headphones in, but it ain't on a Friday night.
Right.
I can probably 99.99.
So pretty much, if we're gonna post during the weekday, during working hours, or on a Sunday.
Correct. Like, choose it. Be like, when would it be? Is it during a lunch, like, break, or like right at 11, so that at 12, and most people take lunch. But now you're talking, people are in different time zones, so that's why Sunday is such a awesome day, because it doesn't matter if you're in California. Like, okay, that means it dropped at 7 a.m. When I'm up at 8 a.m., I find it.
Mm-hmm.
Here at 10 a.m., that just means I watch it at 11.
Right.
So you get the whole day to play with the time change. So Sundays are really great days. Like, typically that's when most people's highest views are, is on Sundays.
So if you had to say a time and a date, you're saying Sunday at what time?
Sunday at 9.
9 a.m.?
Yeah. Because, like, we live in the South. You're either going to church on a Sunday morning or you're not doing it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you're not going to brunch at 9 in the morning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's about 11.
Mm-hmm.
So you might turn it on in the bed, whatever, watch it. Because you lay around kind of in the morning, get on your phone. Well, let me catch about 30 minutes of this before I get in the shower. Oh, let me leave it on while I'm in the shower, too. Well, I'm getting dressed. I might as well. It gives people time to kind of, like, get started with their day, but they're not necessarily in a rush. The majority of people.
Right.
So I think Sunday's a huge game changer. Like, try it, and that gives him breathing room, too. Like, it gives Ethan time to, like, go to sleep on Thursday at a normal time and, like, be like, okay, I'm going to wake up tomorrow, edit a little bit. Saturday, I'll get it together, make sure I can focus on the thumbnail, make it really nice. Boom, 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 bam, done. Sunday, it's out. Because his job is the stressful part. This is the easy part.
Right.
Us talking, you're built for this, I'm built for this. Like, we can talk all day long.
Sure, yeah.
Get on the computer, sitting there for 4 hours because we just talked for 4 hours. That's tough.
Right.
So, and then coming up with the thumbnails are huge too, man. That's how you really get people. So, Ethan, you got to do a lot of thumbnail research.
Well, I've noticed that when we just, like, post just a screenshot of us talking or whatever, that's not good. But whenever we would do, like, our logo with a picture of us, that's always does a lot better.
Yeah. And keywords too, like words on it. I know, like, I've seen Joe Rogan's, it's like 551 and that's it probably. Like,
right. But he's the top guy.
He's earned it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He worked for that. To be able to honestly be like, he could name a video, "You suck," and it'll get 1 million views.
A bunch of millions.
That's actually a great name for a video. wow, that's like reverse psychology. Just blew my mind.
Don't watch this video.
Yeah. No, of course I'm gonna click on it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, keywords, maybe something like that was talked about in the video.
Oh, trust me, I've been writing down literally every sponsor you've called out, and everything you've said. I've been writing it down on my phone.
I like it. Man, this guy. Man.
So this is what he does, by the way. Like this studio,
Man.
this is what he just does this all day.
Oh, you're here all day.
Yeah, yeah.
you work
This
here.
is my job. Yeah.
Yeah. Finally.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
So
finally.
he's been like kind of working odd jobs and stuff, and then finally they got backing and some
Yeah.
money, so now they're paying. He works here.
Man, I need a
Yeah.
guy like him.
Yeah.
Full time.
I mean,
he's like,
I won't say nothing that I might regret later.
Yeah. Like this is being recorded.
Oh yeah.
Well, hey man, we gotta do this again.
Yeah.
We got more hours.
I'm gonna wait on you to be consistent some more,
Yeah.
and then
Come back when we hit 5,000.
I could do that
Yeah.
Is that?
unless you hit it overnight.
I was about to say
Oh,
that's
yeah,
too low.
Yeah. Well, if it's too low, he comes back next week.
Well,
Come on.
listen, time out. If you get on TikTok and you get on YouTube Shorts, honestly, dude, if you guys started posting on YouTube Shorts, your clips, just chop them up, you'll probably hit 10,000 within like 2 weeks. No joke.
So YouTube Shorts, like, it's like what 10, 15 seconds?
No, it could be 60 seconds.
Okay.
You just got to make sure you click that. Like where
Alright.
it says 15, click on the 15, it changes to 60.
So you just go into where like how much? That's Ethan's.
Oh, yeah.
that's
Ethan,
fine.
Trust me.
Click on the
trust me.
15-second thing,
I
it
got it.
changes to
Yeah,
60.
Yeah.
So you would just pull several 60-second clips from this
60
right here.
is way too long.
Okay, so 15, 20 seconds, 15,
25 to 30.
25 to 30.
25 to 30, put some keywords on the top of the screen.
Yep.
You know, discussing whatever.
Bali.
Yeah.
Discussing hitting a
whatever.
monkey with a Lambo.
That's it. This dude hit a monkey
With a Lambo.
with a Lambo in India
Yeah.
with an Indian flag or something.
Yep,
Like
stuck in India for 57 days.
that's it. Like
Right.
and then
Mhm.
30-second clip. You know, you have 105 episodes, 4 episodes to pull
and
stuff
we've talked
from.
about
And you've
some
talked about some crazy
stupid
stuff.
Yeah.
Take those videos, clip them up a little bit, literally, and I don't mean like literally take like 20 of them and just drop them all within the next like 2 weeks. There's gonna be one that's like 1 view, and then one's gonna be like 100,000 from nowhere. Like it goes whoom, like no joke. I have some YouTube shorts that have like 10 million views that came out of nowhere. I was like, what the frick is happening to my YouTube account right now?
Is it because they kind of just pop up and people just like
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
you just kind of swipe through them
there's
almost like a
When I'm on my homepage on YouTube, because I'm a YouTube freak.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at.
you better be
anytime-
subscribed to Niko's Property Show.
Well, I've
Yeah.
seen you a
After
bunch.
today.
And I've watched a couple of your videos. I'm not subscribed, but I am now.
Rude.
But I am
in
now.
all fairness, I
I'm
just sent him that you were coming on this morning.
yeah.
So
Rude.
But yeah, no. With YouTube Shorts, it's literally like a whole bar that takes up
Sideways.
right.
two like video slots
Yeah.
on your homepage. When you're scrolling through, it'll just pop up and it'll be
Yep.
like one's this, one's this, totally random, don't have
Yep.
anything to do with each other. I watched I told you about Peaky Blinders, Gunner. I've seen so many Peaky Blinders clips that's just like the Sigma alpha male, whatever the dumb shit is. But it's just people posting those over and
Yep.
over and over with the music,
Yep.
and they're probably already on TikTok, and they're just doing it
100%.
on YouTube Shorts too.
100%. It's repurposed
All
content,
the
bro.
time.
So pretty much you could TikTok and YouTube Short
Yeah.
the same thing.
I will honestly say, now that I'm talking about this out loud with y'all, TikTok is like the new thing right now. So that's why people want to grow on it and get a bunch of followers on it to say like, yeah, I have 1 million followers on TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
right? But YouTube Shorts is in dire competition with them right now. They are pushing so much shorts to people. I honestly like. I would almost say like, I will bet you $100 if you started taking a ton of your clips and posting them on YouTube Shorts that within a week or two you will hit 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers. Like no joke.
Well, you got to think. I mean, every one of our episodes, minimum of an hour, upwards to 3 hours.
Yeah.
105 episodes.
Like Ethan,
Niko's crying on the inside right
Yeah,
now. 'cause
like, are
I'm
you-
slacking?
man. Like I'm honestly like in my head I'm like, holy crap, that's so much
Seriously.
content.
Yeah.
And bro, you don't even
Especially
have
those COVID episodes. Some of those got crazy.
those will go
Yeah.
viral. Those will go viral because it's still a topic right now. Like
Yeah.
people are still talking about it.
And some of the stuff we kind of predicted, like just kind of half-heartedly
Yeah.
joking around.
Yeah.
And dude, like you don't even have to put like the captions on everything, but
Oh,
definitely
I'll auto-generate. But
if you auto generate, what are you on? Adobe.
yeah,
Okay, you're on Premiere, so that's pretty easy. But if you don't feel like it, where you're like, I just need to put out 5 videos, just do like the block basically where it gives it
the
the
Gary Vee
background.
block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and just do like what the topic of that is.
100%.
And leave it there the whole time. Don't like let it jump off. Or every 5 to 10 seconds you switch what that says. So like as I'm talking, you're like, dude hits monkey in India in Lamborghini for about 5 seconds. We're talking about it. Then you're like, this is crazy. Then for 5 seconds you're like, can't believe this really happened. It just gives another
It's
layer.
so silly, but that's what everyone does, and that's what works.
It works. 5 to 10,000 subscribers.
Gunner, it just works.
Literally.
So how about this? I'll say this. You come back on the show, because I don't like easy numbers. You come back on the show, 10,000 subscribers
Okay.
on YouTube. And then it doesn't have to be like the next day. I'm saying we'll plan the next
We'll
one.
plan it. Okay.
We'll plan the next one at 10,000.
We can do that.
And then I don't know what we talk about. We got so much more. I mean, we didn't even touch. I mean, so much
I
more,
just
you
gave
know?
like my whole life story basically.
I mean, yeah, but like that was a good.
Was
life
that
story.
interesting?
Oh, dude.
So
Because I was getting bored.
I don't know. I'm sorry you got bored.
No, like because it's me. Like I
yeah.
get tired of talking about myself.
Well, yeah, because you're out there doing all these videos about showing other cultures
Yeah.
and your experiences, and you've already done it.
I feel like when I tell about myself and what I've done, like in my mind, I'm like, me, I went here, I did this, I did that. That's all I hear, like as
Sure.
I'm talking into the mic. So I'm like, I hope they're not getting bored. But then, like he just said, I'm like, dude, I went to the Philippines. I was doing some crazy stuff. I hit a monkey in a Lamborghini. You know, like outside looking in, I'd want to hear those stories. I just get sick of hearing it because it's about me. I will literally tell myself to shut up sometimes when I'm filming because I film myself sometimes. I'm like,
Right.
shut your mouth. I'm like, literally, shut your mouth, dude. Like, shut your freaking mouth. You piss me. Like, I go. That's how crazy you get sometimes when you're filming yourself constantly.
Right.
I'm like, just shut your face. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Well, listen, man. I appreciate you coming
Thank
on. Look, I respect you. I respect
Appreciate it.
everything you've done.
Likewise.
You've got to and people that don't want to, man, like they just. I don't know if it's jealousy or just haters or what it is, but like, you got to respect people who put in the work
Appreciate
and
it.
do the thing because it's not easy.
That's true.
I just do the easy part, talking, like, and that's hard.
We
like,
got to start like a chant for Ethan. He's got to have like the intro part, like where you're like, Ethan.
Yeah, that's what we need, dude. Because Ethan is he's the heart and soul around me. He posts everything. He gets everything up. So
It's gonna be booming, man. Hey, don't forget about me when y'all hit like 1 million subscribers one day.
no, I don't want to hear it. Don't forget about us.
I'm here.
Hey, man, I know. Hey,
I'm here. He tried to call me out when we first started the episode.
well,
but
no, because it was just it's try to get people in from Chattanooga, and I was like, man, who's the number one guy around here? And that's when I even really like noticed it, and I was like, man, Niko, let me hit him up. And I was like, I know for a fact he's probably gonna say this and be like, there's probably been.
But I hit
so,
you. I hit you back.
No, you didn't. No, yeah, for sure.
I didn't follow up with the follow up.
Yeah, following up's hard, man. It's hard to keep up.
I
with
hit you
follow-up.
back, and then I didn't follow up with the follow up. That's what happened.
When I
But
followed up.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
you
yeah.
followed up.
Right.
But I was watching.
Hey, man. So, like, I realized he's going to be on LinkedIn a little bit. Maybe that was, like, what I noticed was, like, your least performing
Yeah.
one, right? So I was like, I'm just going to keep, mentioning him on
Yeah.
there. Hit him up on there. Build a little rapport.
Yeah.
A little more relationship there.
Yeah.
And then
that
go
was
that
good.
way. So,
No,
yeah.
because what got me is when I saw you post that, and I saw the number on there. I think it said 10 something or something like that.
mm-hmm.
And I clicked on it, and I was like, wow, I respect this. Literally. That's why I commented on it.
Yeah.
What I said, something about consistency.
Yeah, he's like, let's do this thing. Let's do
Yeah.
it. You just said, like, let's do it now or whatever
Let's do
was.
it.
So,
And I was like, let me just commit to it. I don't like commitment. And I was
Yeah.
like, let's commit. So
well, then to me, I was like, man, I'm busy, but we got to make it work.
we got to make it
We got to
work.
make it work because we usually do this thing at like 6 o'clock. So,
Sheesh.
but hey,
Yeah.
man, I appreciate
Early
you.
days. I appreciate y'all, man.
So, plug your stuff real quick one more time.
Back to life, back the number 2 life. If you want to watch me travel around the world, I'm actually gonna try to take another trip once we get this Scooters coffee open in Collegedale. Come see us at Scooters locally in Chattanooga.
Hey, it's good. It's good.
Pretty darn good. And then Niko's Property Show, and that's all platforms. Back to Life is all platforms. Niko TJR on TikTok, Instagram. If you want to check me out on there, just kind of daily life and when I do travel, stuff like that. So yeah, appreciate y'all.
Hey, man, we appreciate you.
Can't wait to watch y'all's YouTube shorts.
Whew. Hey, Ethan, get those shorts up, bro.
I'm gonna be like, how's business? You're like, booming.
I put in 200 hours worth of work over here. Get those shorts ready to roll.
Dadgummit, Ethan. Frick, man.
So, all right, man. Well, hey, let's wrap this bad boy up. Do all the things you got to do. Subscribe, like the channel, comment, hit us up on all the podcast channels. Hey, we're going to have some YouTube shorts pop up. We're going to have a TikTok channel going up. It's going to be all Chat with Gunner. It might be CWG Podcast. We don't know what it's going to be, but it will be out there, and there'll be a lot more content coming. Nico, we'll see you at 10,000.
Alrighty.
All right.
See y'all then.